Mic check 1 2 1 2. Mic check 1 2 1 2. If anyone in the chat can hear me, just push one. All right, I got a confirmation from Darkman60. Thanks for the confirmation. Welcome back to the Black Brain Trust. This is episode 393. Black Tech Talk. Please hit the like button as you come in. Share the video if possible. Also hit that notification bell so you get all the updates from the Black Brain Trust, including those posted on the community tab. If you're trying to get in IT for the first time, we do offer IT mentorship here. If you are in one IT role and trying to move to another, transition to another role, we can offer IT coaching for you. Also, if you need your resume looked at and have some salary negotiations in terms of wages as well, we can help you out with that as well. If you are in the tri-state area, you're trying to get into IT contracting, the Golden 11 does have recs on the table for the tri-state area. So that being said, let me get into this discussion. The other day I was perusing YouTube and I happened to come across the Crimson Cure. Shout out to Kendra D. I happened to come across Kendra D's video where she talked about needing a new laptop or a new computer. I forget exactly which she was specifying, but her computer was old. It was aging and it was starting to show its age in its performance. And she made a comment that I thought was very interesting. She said that buying a computer on a credit card was not her thing. And I found that interesting because that's pretty much how most people buy their computers now. It's on credit. Usually computers last a few years, right? So if you did the calculations and you really looked at it, the lifespan of a PC is anywhere between 3 to 5 years now, because they're so powerful, right? You can get a whole lot of bang for your buck out of a computer as opposed to before, depending on what you're trying to do. If you're trying to use it for gaming, then yeah, you may get about 3 years max out of it before the requirements for the next series of games comes out and it boosts up the bottom line. But for all intents and purposes, you can pretty much just swap out a video card and you'll still be good. But if your computer is older than 5 years old, then yeah, you're gonna have some problems getting updates. Those who bought computers during the Windows 7 phase will have a difficult time trying to find compatibility with a Windows 10 computer or a Windows 10 operating system because the drivers may not be there, so you would be forced to upgrade, right? Let me stop for a second. If you want to get in on this discussion, there'll be a link in the chat. Sorry about that. But yeah, all you gotta do is swap out a video card and you should be good. But if you have a computer that was built during the Windows 7 or bought during the Windows 7 era, then yeah, you would have to upgrade because Windows 10 may not have the drivers available for it, may not be compatible hardware-wise. So that would force you to upgrade. And I think that what her dilemma may be, I could be wrong. If she's out there listening, you're always welcome to come onto the panel and have that discussion. But if you bought it on a credit card, like she was talking about, she didn't think that was of her persuasion to actually use a credit card to get a PC or build a PC. I'll say it like this: my experience, anecdotal as can be, I got $250 on my credit card just for buying my latest tablet. Right, I bought an HP Elite X2 tablet. This is a very hybrid sort of laptop tablet. It detaches from the keyboard and everything else. Very powerful, 5G internet, not internet, 5G modem built into it. Just pop in the SIM card and connect it to the network, and it's ready to go. My point in saying that is this: what I spent on this PC earned me something like $200 in rewards dollars on my American Express, if I remember correctly. I think it was American Express. Yeah. So doing that, I gained a lot more than what I would have if I spent cash out of my pocket. If I spent $2,000 cash in my pocket, then I would just get, I would just be $2,000 out of pocket. But because I spent $2,000 on a laptop, I actually spent $2,500 on it. But because I spent that much money on a laptop, on this device, I got a discount from HP, and then my credit card company built reward dollars for me and put it into my yearly accruement of rewards, right? So dollars rewards. So I can kind of roll them over to next year, 2020. But the point of the matter is I earned more interest on my card than I did if I spent just cash, right? So when you think about the cost of ownership of a computer, right? Most people, if they're building their computer, they usually keep it around $1,500. That's kind of the sweet spot for spending on a custom built computer. If you did the math and you divided it 1,500 over 36 months, that means that PC cost you $41 a day or $40 a day, roughly. And so what it would have cost you, actually $41 a month, sorry. $41 a month is not a whole lot in hindsight, right? So you spent probably about $16 a week. That's really a good return on investment because a computer is a tool. It's meant to be used for a specific application or a specific use case in regards to relative to the user. So should you buy a computer versus should you build a computer? If I haven't really bought computers in my time, right? I've only built my computers since day one. I've never actually owned a retail computer. But now computers have come down so much in cost that it's actually beneficial for you to actually buy a laptop or a desktop now because they're so robust. And if you don't even want the operating system on it, you can buy a bare metal computer now and just load Linux up on it. Right? So there's a variety of ways of how you can go about this. Let me advance Josh to the panel. There's a variety of ways you can go about this. A lot of people, when you talk about buying a computer versus building a computer, a lot of people will go to Alienware. Share my screen real quick. A lot of people go to Alienware, right? Because Alienware has that branding power. I remember back in the day, Alienware, before Dell bought it, Alienware would have these big advertisements, and they had these slick designs, and it was just their marketing game was on another level, like something you had never seen before. And so, because of that, the brand became very popular enough that even Dell decided that they were going to buy it. So let me look at all of Alienware's desktops. And let's look at the cost of it. These are gaming computers, for those of you who don't understand what Alienware is. Alienware makes gaming desktops and workstations now. And so their computers start at $869 or $849, sorry. and you can actually buy it as whole, or you can kind of pick and choose which components you want to put in there. So let's start with the Aurora. Let's start with the old one. And let's go through and try to customize it. So it says select a game to see how many frames per second each system can achieve. That's not really important right now. When you're building a PC, it's really trying to look for what specs matter to you more than anything, and what's more cost efficient. Yeah, let me wrench up Chrome. Um, so most of these computers can do 100 frames per second bare minimum. Back in the day, 60 frames per second was really good. Now they're talking 100 plus frames per second. At this point, your eyes can't tell anything beyond 100 frames per second, beyond 60 frames per second. That's what your eyes physically can follow. Because if the refresh rate on a monitor is limited or standardized at 60 hertz per second, maximum at 144 hertz per second on some of these new LED sort of designs, these OLED designs on these monitors now. But your eyes can't really tell the difference between 60 frames or 100 frames. So that's not really relevant. That's just more of a benchmark. It's kind of like saying your Mustang can go from 0 to 60 at 3.2 seconds or something like that. That doesn't matter anymore, because all cars, even four bangers, can actually achieve 3.5 seconds on a 0 to 60. So that's not really important. What's important here is processor to video card match, right? Processor, video card match, and memory, right? Windows 10s likes a lot of memory because the design around Windows S says, well, give me all your memory and I'll give you more performance. And so because of that, the more memory you throw at Windows 10s 64-bit, the better it's going to be. That being said, processor. What's the standard processor should you be running, right? It's not even about gigahertz anymore. It's more about which series processor are you going to be running. Any Intel processor from an i5 to an i7 is going to be sufficient enough for daily operation gaming. Same thing for like an i3, right? An i3, you can use that for just browsing Gmail and stuff like that. That's not a big deal. But for gaming, you want an i5, you want an i7, right? They're saying right here, i5 9400, i7 9700, all the way across the board to an i7 9700K. I personally opted not to go with an i7. I decided to go with an i5. And the reason why I went with the i5 is because this tablet is going to run cooler and still give me the same sufficient performance in my hand. If I ran an i7, then what's going to happen here is going to run really hot and go through something called throttling. Throttling is going to bring down the performance of the megahertz of the processor to adjust for thermal displacement, so TDP. And because thermal displacement means heat, in the long run, you don't want a hot tablet or a hot laptop sitting on your lap as a man, because that could actually sterilize you down there in your jewels. So I personally don't need an i7 to do 90% of what I do every day, which is a lot of business productivity, Microsoft Office, Office 365, Visio, things like that for my daily use. 10% of the time, I might render video or even watch video, but I don't really do too much of that on my laptop, so on my tablet, so I'm not really worried about that. But if you're building a PC from the ground up, or you're buying it, then yeah, an i5 is the bare minimum. AMD right now has the best processor on the market, the 3900X, the Ryzen. So in this regard, let's look at the Aurora gaming system. Let's play with this. Let's customize it first. Let's see if we can customize it. Hey, Craig, if you want to get on the panel, you're welcome to get on the panel. All right, let's customize this. Oh, let me see. Yeah, if you're trying to get on the panel, I don't see you in the waiting room. Just raise your hand if you're going to be in the waiting room. So i5 9400 6-core versus i7 9700 8-core for $150 more. Me personally, I'm not pressed for 8 cores, right? I can do without 8 cores, but an i5 with 6 cores, 6 threads is not that bad of a deal. Just an extra $100 more. Okay, fine. Alienware recommends another $250 for an i7 97K 8-core 12 megabyte of cache, and overclock up to 4.6 gigahertz. You don't really need all of that if you're just trying to get something basic. Let's go with the this processor selected requires liquid cooled power supply option. Really? All right. So let's select that then. Liquid cool. Okay, so right now we're at $1,019.99 for this desktop. We're trying to keep it at $1,500, right? Can we keep it at $1,500 if we're trying to build it? Like Kendra D was talking about. Kendra D was saying, she would have to spend X amount of money and it's not really worth it right now. Maybe there's other pressing priorities, right? Let's go with the premise of $1,500. Can we do it for under $1,500, or can we do it at $1,500? Let me see. Let's go to 16. Who's this out here?
It's Curlin.
Hey, what's going on, bro? Put some volume on your mic.
All right, 1 second. All right, is this any better?
Yeah, somewhat better. But we can work with it though.
All right.
Yeah, I'm here too, Mike. I just was letting you present.
Oh, okay. Okay. What's going on?
This?
Yeah, just give me a second. Let me build this out, and then we'll have you jump in with your opinion.
All right.
All right. So can we keep it under $1,500? 16 gigabytes, dual channel. Yeah, that's fine. But let's go with the 32 gig option, right? For longevity purposes. All right, so let's go with that. Is there a difference between 2,666 megahertz versus the 2,933 megahertz? Not that much. That only really matters when you start going into real scientific rendering and stuff like that of crunching numbers, right? Because you need as much bandwidth as possible. So the difference between that and memory clock speed is bandwidth. for regular gaming computers, that doesn't really matter because most of your performance requirements are on the video card and not so much in the memory itself. It's not like if you bought the 2933 megahertz spec memory that somehow you're going to beat your opponents in Call of Duty. That's not going to change anything. This would actually be beneficial in something like Bitcoin. If you were working with Bitcoin mining, that would matter. 1 terabyte hard drive, yeah, that's cool and all, but what about a 256 gig SSD? Let's go with that. Oh, now we're at $1,269, right? Oh, Craig likes to rub his toys in our face, man. He got the 3600X. Good for you, Craig. Tray load DVD rewrite drive. Do we really need that? When's the last time you actually used a DVD or a disc, for that matter, to load anything up? Everything is pretty much download now. That doesn't really matter, so we'll leave that in there. Wi-Fi, wireless communications. Yeah, when I run my desktops, I'm always connected to the LAN. I never use anything wireless. I'll leave that in there. Additional network cards. We'll use the LAN that's already on there. I know some people would rave about Thunderbolt because it's Thunderbolt. In this regard, that doesn't make a difference. Keyboard is all preference. You choose whatever fits your floats your boat. Let me see, monthly subscription. Monthly subscription to what though? I guess that's Alienware support package. Now, I'd rather spend the money on hardware. Let's in support. Let me select. So we talked about the lifespan of a PC, right? Anywhere between 3 to 5 years, right? So let's select the 3 years premium support. Now we're sorry. Now we're at 1568 99 cents. So we're good. Microsoft Office, you do have G Suite as an alternative, so we won't worry too much about that. Antivirus software, who cares? Just run it raw. Ain't that right? Keep it techie.
Roger that.
Yeah, all right, man. And I personally use Silence for my antivirus suite. So I have a couple year subscription on it, multi-year subscription on it. So I'm not really pressed about that. But in this regard, my Windows Defender will be bundled with every Windows license sold. So
Yep.
you want to, choose something later, then go right ahead, have at it. We don't have to worry about PDF, anything like that, because we're not really doing anything productive on that. And according to the score right here, it says that this PC that's been built would be a level 2, right? It's next level gaming. So the levels will go from level 1 to level 4, and a level 4 is the maximum that you can get out of an Alienware based system. Let's go back to the top and make sure we covered everything on what it is that we were looking for.
Yeah, the weak link in that build is that 1650 right there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So let's select the 1660 Ti. Okay, so we're at 1600 now. I'm okay with that. Yeah, and let's go with Windows Pro. So now we tipped over to 1700. So can we build a computer from scratch for less money with the same level of support? Keep in mind that when you build your own computer, and maybe Curlin and Josh can actually confirm what I'm saying. You are your own support. So if something goes wrong, you can't call anybody.
Right.
You're basically supporting it yourself. So unless you actually know exactly what you're doing, it's not for the faint of heart.
Or know people that can hook you up. You know what I mean? Because like, say, building a PC for somebody is something I used to do back in the day. But guess what? When it sneezes, guess who they call? Me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it could have been, you know, this font keeps changing in my Microsoft Excel, and I'm like, but the machine is running fine, right?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
Do you work in support, Colonel?
I used to. I'm more on the client side. I do a lot of client stuff for the FAA right now.
Okay.
Yeah. But I've been building my own rig since forever. So.
Yeah, I'm the same way with you. I built my own rig 1998. So
right.
Yeah. Yeah. So you say the 1660 Ti, or you say the 1650 was the weak link. What is a sufficient graphics card in your opinion on this page right here?
For the additional $70, I would absolutely go with that 5700.
5700.
Mm-hmm.
Where's it at? Oh, you mean the AMD? The AMD.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's select that. Oh, that's 18. I'll say okay. So we're at 1828. Okay.
Right. Let's see now. What CPU did you have on there?
So CPU wise, what we have is the 9th generation Intel Core i5 9600K 6-core 6-thread.
So like if this person were gaming, right? What do you know what kind of monitor that they had already picked? Is it 1080p high refresh or 1440?
No, we don't even know because see, I based this conversation off of what Kendra D was talking about in her video the other day. So we're just going off the assumption that she has a sufficient monitor, right? So we're just going to go with that.
Okay, so for Kendra's case, she probably wouldn't be gaming. So
she actually does game.
Okay, so she probably would be gaming as heavily as she would be doing content production, right?
Right.
Okay, so now see, in that case, she would probably be fine with, say, the 1660 Ti and a high refresh 1080p screen for her games, and stepping up the processor so she can get that extra, she can shorten her crunch times for her videos and such.
Mm-hmm.
And 32 gigs, she could probably also step down to 16 gigs and be fine. 16 gigs of RAM and be fine for what her workload would be.
Okay, let's look at that.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're down to 1708.
Mm-hmm.
It's saying that
Did you swap out the video card? Did you swap it back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it said the hard drive, we needed to add a 1 terabyte drive to it because of the SSID or the SSD, I should say. Doesn't say that anymore though. Weird. Went away. So right now we're sitting at 1700. Let me let these other gentlemen on. Right now we're sitting at 1708. Can we build a custom PC for less than that?
Hell yeah.
Okay. What's your place to shop at? So what's your place to shop at online?
Online is going to be Newegg, but I'm in Atlanta, so I have a couple of micro centers here, so that's typically where
I have Micro Center right down the street from me.
Right. Kendra's in Chicago, so they have a micro center as well.
I think they have a Fry's too.
Yeah. Now what I noticed is with Fry's is ever since that CEO got in trouble like 10 years ago, their deals have been crap, but it's still a place to get stuff locally if you just need it.
Yeah.
But since she's in Chi-Town, I would say let's shop at Micro Center.
Yeah. So let's go to Micro Center then. Oh, I should have kept that build. Shit.
Oh, it's still there.
Yeah. Give me a second. Let me let these other gentlemen on. What's going on, Christian? What's going on, Zone?
Nothing much.
All right.
Doing all right so far.
All right. I know this is right up your alley, Christian. So. Yeah, so we're at Micro Center, but let's switch to the Chicago store. Yeah, Chicago. All right, so what are we looking for? A micro ATX chassis, ATX chassis? How do you gentlemen want to go about this?
One of my favorite chassis that isn't too big right now is the Fractal Design. What's the name of it?
Balancers.
It's not the Define, it's the other one. Yeah, hold on.
Let's go ahead and do micro ATX.
Okay.
Save some desk space.
Okay. So,
Okay. I think micro ATX costs more than ATX.
Yeah, there it is right there. Meshify C.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Now, that physically, that tower is just a little bit bigger than what you would be able to put than a standard, say, micro ATX case from, I don't know, say 5-6 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
It's not very, very deep, but it has a lot of options.
Mm-hmm.
I actually am using like the Corsair more or less equivalent right now for one of my main rigs.
Yeah, I have the Corsair 350D Obsidian.
Yeah.
Not that content creator.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah, it's a decent looking chassis. I like the design. I like the fact that they put the PSU down below and not at the top.
Right.
It has a lot of holes in it, though. I can only imagine how much dust is going to get in there.
Well, this one is built for airflow, which is good for, of course it's going to be good for gaming, but it also can keep the noise down as well because the fans don't have to spin as hard.
Okay. And it's got filters on it that's easy to get to.
Right there in the front.
Okay. Okay, so let's select this then. We'll go with this. There's only one in stock, so Kendra better hurry up. We need a power supply to go with it. What's your choice of power supply, gentlemen?
I like Seasonic. Seasonic is like mostly 5 to 10 year warranty.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes. Seasonic is good. Seasonic also makes PSUs for Corsair and EVGA and a lot of other places too. So there's a lot of different manufacturers where you can't really go wrong as long as you pick something pretty solid.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's continue shopping. Let's find the Seasonic then. Seasonic.
They should have one on there that's only like 70 to 90 bucks. Because I don't think she's gonna be doing like SLI mode or anything like that anytime soon.
No.
I could be wrong.
Yeah, could be.
Yeah.
Let's
Can you go down and check the 650 or no? Those are expensive. I guess just a $9 one.
Yeah, scrolling back up to $99 one. That 650. Yeah, that'd be good.
That's a gold, right?
Yeah.
Seasonic Focus Gold.
What is it? A platinum series or something?
Yeah, I think the platinum's like modular.
Yeah,
it's called titanium.
Yeah. Now I've had extremely good luck with EVGA power supplies in my mining endeavors. So
now, the Alienware specified that there should be at least an 850 watt power supply if you're going to go up in credit in graphics card. So we have to future proof this out, right? So 650 now may not be sufficient, 2 years from now.
Yeah, I always buy a little bit more than what I need, especially since a lot of people will buy a PC and we'll keep the platform and say swap up the video card or say swap a CPU or whatever in later on.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So yeah, I would buy a little higher than 650.
So for $30 more, we can get a 850.
Right.
You gentlemen agree? 850.
Yep.
Bucks more.
Cool enough.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay. Let's continue shopping. And let's find what's the next item we should be looking for.
Motherboard.
Motherboards.
Micro Center usually has motherboard bundle. So what are we saying? The AMD bundle or Intel bundle?
Let's do AMD.
That's for AMD.
Yeah, AMD.
Let's get that Ryzen 7.
Yeah, the what they'll do is when you put it in the cart, they'll cut off whatever the bundle is, so you can pick whichever one you want as long as it has that little subtext up under the picture.
Mm-hmm. Now, what did you say, Christian? That AMD Duron?
No, not a Duron, not that old.
Oh, not a Celeron.
Man, I forgot about the Duron. What you talking about?
At my other job where we built all the PCs, I still got some Durons running.
Wow. Yeah. Those things got to be running on Linux, man.
No, I think 7.
Oh, man. That's got to be struggling. Because the Durons didn't have SSE at the time. So, Curly, you said the bundle show up after you add the processor to this to the cart.
Right. You add the processor and the motherboard, and what it'll do is it'll deduct $20 off of the motherboard price or the processor price.
Save $20 when bundled with compatible eligible motherboard. See, the thing is, you don't know which motherboard is always going to be compatible, right? I bought a bundle from Micro Center a couple of Black Fridays ago, and although they were pin compatible, the motherboard did not have the BIOS update on it. So the system went and load up at boot. It was just beeping.
Yeah.
So I had to take it all the way back to Micro Center and have them update the BIOS and then give it back to me. Or they said I should buy another processor and then update the BIOS myself and then bring it back. I said I'm not doing all that. You sold a bundle that was supposed to be compatible.
Yeah. What happens is like some of those boards that were previous generation, say like the X470s or whatever, those drop with the 2000 series Ryzens. Now you can put a 3000 series Ryzen in there, but if you buy it out of the store, more than likely that motherboard was manufactured before the 3000 even existed.
Right.
So it doesn't have the microcode in order to turn it on.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the situation that you ran into where, you put it all together and be like, hey, this thing's supposed to rock, and you get nothing.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, some of the newer motherboards, they've actually got a BIOS update button in the back.
Yep.
So it will like bypass whatever processor you got in it. And it's like, okay, we can go straight into the BIOS. All right, we can go to the website, download it, install it, bam. So you don't have to do that. I need to get an old processor so I can flash it, so I can put in a new one.
Right. Yeah. A lot of, they call it like BIOS flashback, where you just stick it, you name the file a certain way, and stick it in a specific USB port and hit the button. All it needs is power, and it'll take care of the rest for you.
Yeah. Fun fact for those of you listening, I started my career in IT with AMD. I helped build out their data center out here in Massachusetts when they first came here. So
very nice.
Yeah, started there years ago.
Yeah, I said we go with that 2700X.
2700. Everybody agree on this?
I prefer that 3700.
I'm looking at the 3600.
Oh yeah. So Ryzen 7 versus Ryzen 5. What you guys take on this?
I'll
Well,
take the 7.
Well, I'm looking at generation because like 3000 is a significant step up to 2000. Like it has a separate IO die. You know what I mean? Like you don't have all of the funky latency stuff that you had with the 2000 series where you had to go through Infinity Fabric for everything. So clock for clock, I'm still think that 3600 would be a better buy, especially if we're trying to stick within a certain budget, than the 27 would.
$20 more.
It's $20 and more for that 3600 compared to the 2700X.
I was just looking at the core count because if she is doing content building, she can use those extra cores. That was the first thing I thought about. I was like, okay, it's cheaper, and if she wants to upgrade later, get a motherboard that we know that we can upgrade later too.
Yeah, right. That's a good point. If she crunching video, then those extra 4 cores will help. Yeah.
And this is just like, okay, she gets in the door. Hey, I need this type of work as opposed to this type of work. She can upgrade to that processor later, or just upgrade to that video card later, depending on what type of work she's putting out.
Right. It's a good point.
Do we want to ask the chat?
Nah, I know them.
I say we go with the better bang for the buck. Go with the 8 cores, 2700 for right now.
Yeah, and then maybe upgrade to the 3950X.
Yeah. And for all we know, later on, she's like,
maybe like 3 years later when it drops down to $200.
Yeah, 2700X. I'm with it.
I'm sorry, gentlemen. I had to step away for a second so I kind of missed the conversation.
We went with the 2700X.
Okay.
We're going to go with the extra cores.
Okay. There's an open box one. Do you want that?
It's still under warranty. I don't see a problem with it. I just like to have all my stuff untampered with.
Yeah, I want my stickers.
Yeah, I've had good luck with Micro Center's open box stuff. Like they're usually pretty lenient and let you open it up and look at it, inspect like pin counts and
Continue to check out.
smell for burnt components and all that other kind of madness too. So
yeah, I buy all my TVs. All my electronics come from Micro Center.
Yeah.
I don't shop anywhere else. That's actually not in the cart. We have to choose another. Let's look at this.
it dropped out or
So something is missing here. Oh, this fractal design is not available.
oh, okay. Well, they had one with the tinted tempered glass that will fit.
Okay.
I think it's the same price as well. So
What do you call it?
the Meshify C.
Oh, okay. Let me,
Yeah, that one right next to it in the middle.
Let's see what this looks like. Okay.
Just tinted glass as opposed to clear.
Right.
Now, does the wiring go through the back of the chassis and then?
Yeah, it's actually got like zip downs that you can put all your stuff up in the back and keep it tidy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, we'll go with this. What?
That other one is still in the cart.
Let's remove that. All right, we're good. So we got PSUs, processor, chassis. We need a motherboard now.
Right.
Go to.
Now, I've had really good luck with Gigabyte
Here we go.
myself
Here's the bundle.
and ROG.
ASRock has been my joint for the past 5-6 years.
Yo, I didn't have good luck with Asus. So
Only
mean-
problem I've had was Asus was the workstation
oh
motherboard.
yeah.
They've
Okay.
messed me over before in the past. But ROG, I've had good luck with, and Gigabyte's ultra durable
them-
motherboards, I've had good luck with. Only thing I ask, just because mics got burned before in the past, is that we got one that's got the BIOS flashback button in the back. Whatever motherboard we go with, as long as it's got that feature.
Yeah, Gigabyte is good too. So you're right.
Right.
I mean,
Come on, ASRock.
Yeah, ASRock is the heat. I ever since I kind of got on that train, it's been like Tai Chi everything. So
I mean, you can choose the 299. It comes with the 1 TB SSD.
Oh yeah.
those are bundles though. So like, what about if we go to the motherboard section on its own? See what they got.
Would it be cheaper though?
It's gonna come up to the same price.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go look at some other boards then. Christian's the type of guy that just goes around Micro Center, just hangs out just to be hanging out.
Been offered jobs quite a few times.
Yeah, I'm kind of guilty of the same thing.
All right, let's go to computer parts, motherboards. AMD motherboard.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Now that one right there for 209, that's one I've been looking at for a while. That's a good board. That Gigabyte
Okay.
X570. That's a good one. And like Keep It Taken said, Tai Chi's got a whole lot of good reviews on it.
Yeah.
And I think it's got that BIOS flashback button on it too.
Yeah, it does.
Do we want to go ahead and click on them and click compare?
Let's get a consensus. What do you guys also prefer besides Gigabyte around the gym, around the gym?
So far as Gigabyte, ROG, and Tai Chi.
ASRock. Yeah.
I'm more of a Asus Tough series.
Yeah, that's a gaming motherboard.
They put gaming on everything to try.
Yeah,
Okay, so we got one for Asus, one for Gigabyte, one for ASRock.
Yeah.
Where's the ASRocks here? Okay. I don't know if this is pin compatible though.
No, that's
no,
an
not that.
X399. That's Threadripper.
That's Threadripper.
Yeah.
Scroll to the top and do, was it A4?
AM4.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
AM4.
Just a little bit higher.
Socket, yeah.
There you go.
Okay,
There we go.
so let's go to cheapest now.
Cost effective. Let's go to cost effective.
All right. So do y'all want to go X470 or 570?
I want to go with 570. It's going to be the last time that they're going to be doing anything for the AM4, I'm hearing, before they switch out to the chipset. So buy the better motherboard now. And if she wants to upgrade to, what is it, the 3750?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if she wants to upgrade to that. Yeah. If she wants to upgrade to the 3950 later, she's already got a motherboard that's ready for it.
Yeah. You can pick the chipset on that column on the left side. There we go. 570.
Should we choose 4 DIMM slots, 2 DIMM slots?
4, definitely.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
future expansion. Unless you're using like a Pico ATX or what's the other ATX?
ITX and
Mini
I think
ITX.
DTX.
Yeah. But let's okay, so the consensus here is that the ASRock 570 is going to be the choice here.
The Tai Chi, the Phantom Gaming's VRM is passable, but if she's going to upgrade later, I don't know if I would go with that one.
Okay.
Yeah. Now,
What do you think?
my man was saying that he likes the ultra durables. So, and this last generation, Gigabyte has been known to have substantially more I wouldn't say powerful, but like resilient VRMs than the other manufacturers at their lower tier. So that 570 ultra durable might be the best one.
That's what I've been looking at, and that's what I'm liking.
Yeah.
The other one, the extended ATX, I don't have a case to fit that, and I don't want to spend any more money on another case.
Yeah, it's
Right.
12x13. Christian says he swears off anything MSI, so we'll avoid MSI for right now. We don't want any.
At one of my other jobs, I convinced them to getting clone built PCs and putting stuff together. And we did it. We got all MSI motherboards, processors, everything. The VRM on the MSI motherboards at the time burned out. Yep. They burned out. And while I had one of the directors on the phone with me while I was talking to him, they say, man, I only got to support you guys for like another 6 months. And then it's just, you guys are just stuck with it. And then the director was like, we'll never touch clone PCs again. And they went straight down. I was like, I finally got them to go over the clone, and y'all messed me over.
Yeah. So, when you're doing stuff like that, you have to be very specific in what you want.
Yeah.
And if the folks can't provide it, you just be like, on to the next.
Yeah. You never go wrong with a Supermicro.
Thank you. At one of my other jobs, I put some Supermicro servers together. 17 years still running.
Yep.
So we need to choose a motherboard now. So let's go with the ASRock.
Can we compare on this?
Yeah. We can do a comparison.
Okay.
So we can
that Ultra DMA Gigabyte. I looked at that one. I don't care for that one too much. There's not enough features on it for me. I want to compare that one to like a Tai Chi. And do we want to do a tough, or do we want to do an ROG Asus motherboard, or sticks?
I would say a prime if we're going to do the Asus over the tough.
Wouldn't prime be like a pretty basic motherboard setup?
I thought they lowered the tough to the pretty basic motherboard setup.
Unsure, but I remember the tough series was a little bit better because it used like more superior capacitors and stuff like that.
Yeah, some generations ago.
Okay, we need one. Let's select one now.
The Gigabyte in the middle.
So we'll select the Gigabyte.
Yeah. And
then we'll select the ASRock.
The Tai Chi is going to be more expensive.
Yeah, that one right there, that Pro 4. One of the kids I'm mentoring, he's got that and he likes it. You can go ahead and pop that one on there.
Okay. We have room for two more.
All right, now we need one for the Asus camp. Is that the prime? There's that prime right there. Ooh.
My man like that tough. Let's put the tough in there.
Okay.
Where's the tough at?
I think it was
scroll up
higher. Yeah.
Yes.
It's like $199.
There it goes.
Yeah, and let's drop the prime out and then put the Tai Chi in there.
Where's the?
I think it's the third one. It's the prime in the comparison.
Yeah. Okay.
Now let's just click on that. Oh, okay.
We want the Tai Chi.
Yeah.
Where's this Tai Chi at?
It must be sold out because I didn't see it. It should be, yeah.
Next page, maybe?
Is the Tai Chi on Threadripper only?
No. They got a 570. And the reviews have been pretty good on it, too.
Yeah, I'm running one, so I know they make it.
You guys sell it?
Yep, it's sold out.
Oh, there you go.
It's a sellout. What a sucker. All right, we'll compare these three right here then.
Right.
All right, so we got what are you guys going to look for comparison spec wise?
With at this level, the most important thing is the VRM.
Yeah, I was about to say, only thing I can think of is VRM.
Intel LAN would be a plus.
So far, the Tough's got Wi-Fi. Nobody else got Wi-Fi. Gigabyte's got Realtek.
All of them got
Tough got
Realtek.
Realtek. That Asus Prime's got an Intel.
Yeah, yeah.
It's got
The Azra has Intel.
Yeah, the Azra has Intel LAN. The Tough has Intel Wi-Fi.
Now, in this regard, we probably don't need to be concerned too much about that. Your modem is close to your desktop anyways, right? So we'll go with the premise that the modem is sitting on top of the desk with the PC, right? So
okay.
In this regard, your LAN chip is going to matter, right? Realtek is nothing wrong with that, but the bandwidth, the efficiency in the bandwidth is always 20 to 25% lower than Intel's, or at least the standard, right? So if it's supposed to be moving at a gigabit, you're only getting about maybe 800, 700 megabits of throughput, from my understanding. So Intel, I mean, you're doing a lot of streaming, a lot of Netflix, Hulu, Prime, Pornhub. Okay, we'll just have to go with the.
Well, here's another caveat though. If she's going to be crunching video, and say she starts crunching video and she decides to get that 3950, you know, after it's on Black Friday special a year or two from now, she's going to need a VRM that can manage that. And I'm pretty positive that the Gigabyte will be more capable than either of these three.
BGS Idmore is in the chat, and he says that the X570 is overkill for a 2700X.
It is, but we want the 2700X because it was more cost effective, and she can upgrade if she needs more processing power. Now, it depends on if she goes, what she uses to compress the video. It might be using GPU as opposed to CPU anyway. It's just that like she's got room to upgrade later.
Right.
Because she might want that 16 core 3950 or 3750.
Next Black Friday, processors go cheap that one day. You know, she's out there. She decides, well, let me just get that. You know?
Right. For this particular application, my vote would be for the Gigabyte.
Okay, let's go with the Gigabyte then.
I agree. I was getting to the point where I was going to say eeny, meeny, miny, mo between those two. Yeah.
But keep in mind that this isn't a see-through chassis, so we don't have to worry about color management, color mix and match and whatnot. You know, things being tacky. So what we have here is we have the 4 components here. We're at 584. Keep that in mind, gentlemen. Let's continue shopping. Let's
we need RAM next.
See? No RAM.
Black RAM. 3 desktop memory. Okay. Why are we still comparing this?
For Ryzen, I wouldn't do anything less than 3200.
I've had good luck with Corsair memory and G-Skills memory. Yeah,
G-Skill is the heat. I've had better luck with G-Skill than I have Corsair of late.
What is the spec for memory on the motherboard?
On that 570, it can do 128 gigs. So if you want to put
speed
232s,
speed wise,
like 4,000 or something.
Yeah.
So something like that. But here's the thing though, like with Ryzen, the latency is very important. On a 2000 series, 3200 with a 14 cast latency is like the sweet spot. when you go into the 3000 series, you can have a higher frequency with a higher cast time and get about the same results.
Mhm. All right. So let me see. So we're talking DDR4 2666.
Yeah, that Trident Z that was in the middle, the RGB joint that you were just on. I think it was like $80 something.
Oh, Aquateki in the chat says RBG is overrated.
Well, it is, but in a lot of cases, you know what I'm saying. You just kind of get it.
You can turn it off.
Yeah.
If you got Corsair fans like I got and the strips, and you download that wallpaper engine, it's cool to have.
Right.
I to have.
Yeah, and I saw that you clicked 2666. We got to go faster than that for Ryzen.
Okay.
Yeah, 3200.
3200. Okay, scroll down a little bit. Right there, 8299.
8299.
Mhm.
Yeah, the crucial to
So we going 2, 6, or 4?
crucial or the G skill.
I personally like to go ahead and go like at least half of what the board could hold. How much more does it cost for a 232 gig sticks? I just want to know.
It'll probably be what, 165?
They don't have 232s. They have two 216s. You see on the memory capacity on the column over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you wanted like a 32, you have to go with a ECC.
Right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
You guys trust G skill?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I swear by it.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a keyboard option?
I haven't played with HyperX.
I haven't
Number
either.
7.
HyperX is made by Kingston.
Okay.
Right.
BGS is doing a lot of woofing in the chat, man. You know, you're welcome to come on to the panel and express your opinions.
He's saying we should have went ROG.
It's overpriced.
Well, but I mean, I thought we were building this towards what Kendra would be using it for, right?
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
what
yeah.
we're talking about Kendra D, BGS. 10-second backstory. Kendra did a live the other day, and she was talking about the aging of her PC, and it was actually not sufficient enough to do like OBS. And so I decided to fire up a live stream and talk about building a computer versus buying it. That was her dilemma, right? So what we're talking about here is just kind of building it to that spec, right? Is it sufficient enough to do OBS and Gmail and stuff like that? I would hope so. So
Gmail does take a lot of RAM, though.
Would you say OBS?
I said Gmail does take up a lot of RAM, though, man.
Oh man,
Chrome, man, Chrome.
yeah. Sockets for that. All right, let's select the G skill. Let's go with that.
Cool.
We don't need a protection plan. If it fails, right?
G-Scale is pretty cool about doing their memory. Like if you got some bad stuff, they'll send you stuff back. They're cool.
Invisible Light says you should have got the Asus Prime. Overruled, buddy. Overruled. Okay, so what's in our cart right now, man? We got the memory. We need we got the power supply.
Card and hard drive, I think.
All right.
Let's go with the hard drive first. Let's do solid state PCI 4.
PCI 4?
They doing 4.
In .2.
Well, here's a caveat. Since we went with a 2000, it won't run at PCIe 4 speeds.
Okay, I thought that was on the chipset on the motherboard itself. Okay, because I put off the processor.
Right.
Damn it. I'll go with the M2.
M2?
Yep.
Okay.
Because that board's does it got 3 slats or just got 2?
I think it has 2.
Okay. Threadripper's got 3 slats. Okay.
Some of the higher end 570s have 3 slots as well.
I normally get the Kingston or the Samsung. They make the best drives in my opinion.
Samsung and Western Digital's the two I've been played with. And
Yeah, that Intel 660p 2 terabyte if you want just raw like a bunch of freaking storage on a stick. It's not gonna win any races, that's for sure. But like so I would use that either in a laptop or as a secondary.
But you can get some. You can get since it's a desktop case. Just go down and get an SSD for the operating system, and then you can get as much storage as you want for cheap on cylinder. I know they what is it 7,200 on the speed or whatever. Don't matter. The operating system is what matters in the RAM. So
remember when Western Digital had the Raptor series, those 10,000 RPM?
Yeah.
Yep, I had one.
I had them before too.
Yep. Yeah. What that Samsung 512 hit for these days?
Let's see. Let's spec it down to 500. $500 where's the 512?
It's 500.
Yeah, it's $60 on the top left. A60.
That's a inland. Mm-hmm. The one I was thinking about was the one in the middle for 80.
Okay.
Yeah.
So here's a strategy. We go with this and we use Google storage, right? Cloud storage as a alternative. What say you about that?
Negative.
I'm doing that now, so cool.
Okay.
I would include that in an additional tier, but like I would get a M2, a spindle drive, and then use the cloud storage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it don't hurt to get no local storage because in my opinion, I don't trust cloud service. So I mean that's just my opinion, but I mean I would at least have local storage, and then whatever you want to put on the cloud, then that's available regardless. So I would get a spindle drive or whatever.
I got Western Digital Black for my spindle drive. OS key software on the solid state. I got another solid state for my games, but like all my VMs and stuff that I run for VMware Workstation, I got a spindle 7200 Western Digital Black, and then I back up to the cloud, just in case. Yeah,
because in Windows you can specify where you want your backup to be and how frequent you want your strategy to operate. Yep. So let me just spin this down to the lowest price so we can find something real quick.
Yeah, that $59 Samsung.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, y'all looking at the other ones, the E2 or whatever they call
M.2.
Yeah, M.2 or whatever they call.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, see, I always try to stay traditional just with the SATA because it's just what's widely available. If we start getting involved in this type of stuff in terms of the M2s,
come on, bro, you got to live a little.
You need to hang out at Fry's more and just hang out.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So based on what's available right here, what are we trying to stay at? Under 75? What? Tony Maceo, 75?
Yeah, but you can probably get a terabyte for 130.
Well, it depends on if it's a SATA 3 stick or if it's an NVMe stick. So if we're talking OS drive, we might as well make it fast, like my man said earlier. So like that, even a 256 NVMe Samsung would be a good OS drive if we're gonna buy spindle storage as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because you can get a 10 terabyte external drive that you could plug up for $160. That stuff keep going further and further down.
Yeah,
those spindle drives. I mean, you can add that later, for the storage.
Mm-hmm.
Other storage.
And at Micro Center has a sweet spot drive that I've been using in my Unraid box. It's like a 5 terabyte Toshiba drive.
Mm-hmm.
It's a NAS drive I've had really good luck with, and I think it's right around 140-ish.
Yeah.
So between Kingston, Crucial, Western Digital Black, you have this right, Christian?
I've got experience playing with Western Digital Blacks and the Samsungs. Now,
Okay.
me and my wife's systems, we got Samsung M2s.
Okay.
Some of the kids I've been mentoring, they went ahead with the Western Digital Blacks. We've tested it. We like it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've used a little bit of everything, to be honest.
Okay.
Western Digital Black has 5-year warranty, so
Yeah.
Yeah, just roll with that.
Okay.
I think I have one or both of those actually.
All right.
video cards.
Well, I thought we were gonna go with a spindle drive for
mass storage.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, if it gets too much, we can drop that off and leave it as like a nice to have or something.
Yeah, let's add everything then, and then we'll subtract as we get to the end, right? When we tally
Right.
All right.
put a hard drive together. Let's go find some.
Right there.
Internal
Video cards.
hard
Come to the
drives.
left. Oh,
There you go.
Barracudas. What's your flavor here, gentlemen?
Western Digital for spindles, man. I've
Take
been
the black
burned
drives.
so many times by Seagate.
Yeah, I'm kind of like an anything but Seagate type of guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I don't even understand how Seagate's still in business because they drives are bad.
Mm-hmm.
I've had so many issues with those.
Mm-hmm. Wow, man, 500 gigs for like $29, man. It's crazy.
Terabyte for 35.
Oh yeah.
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 No, that's blue.
Yeah, it's a blue drive.
I get the black ones.
2 terabytes for $39. Like crazy.
Hitachi's pretty cool.
Yeah,
But that's also a refurbished drive too.
Yeah, and Hitachi's also owned by Western Digital these days, right? Isn't that how that went?
Hitachi.
Yeah. IBM
This
used
one
to
they
own
made
them. I think they sold out.
ATST, right?
Yeah, HCST is WD now, I believe. I
Yeah.
think that's the right lineup.
Hitachi Global Storage Technology.
Right.
Then you have Western Digital Blu-ray here, $42.99. Yeah, I don't know if I could do 5,400 RPM. I don't know if I can go back that far, man.
Yeah.
I can't.
No, man, that's like going back to like a Yugo or something. It might have been cool back then, but not now.
Yeah, and it's bad enough it's spindle storage. Like,
Yeah. So, what are you gonna say, Tom?
For a Western Digital Black Series.
Western Digital Black, not
Yeah.
blue. Where's the black? Purple, blue.
It'd probably be around like $70 or something like that.
Okay. Oh, here's the black right here. So 1 terabyte.
I'm not sure if they still do that. But a lot of them Western Digital drives, they'll come with like storage for the cloud, like Microsoft Cloud or whatever it's called.
Yeah,
BTS.
yeah.
I'm not sure.
Background.
Some of them come with, extra space or whatever you can add to your account.
Yeah. Oh, Western Digital did have a special going like, hey, we'll give you this much OneDrive space.
Yeah, OneDrive. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you get Microsoft Suite, you get a considerable amount of storage. So we should be good in that area. That's always a strategy we can go down the line.
What programs is she running?
hey, there's the
Kendra?
man.
Yeah.
What's going on? What's going on, BJS? I think she was saying that her system right now, the current system that she has, won't run OBS as fluidly as she would like it to. So she was thinking about building a new computer. So I think OBS is probably the most heaviest application that she has.
Okay.
So we decided to just kind kind of build it out now.
Yeah,
So we got
because
storage.
even for the because the VRMs on the 570s maybe a little bit more beefier than the 470s, but not that much. Because I've seen dudes run a 3950 on a 320. What they were surprised about is because of the 3950s giving premium binning. Because I have a 3900X and the 3950s because of the binning is a lot more efficient than even the
And the 3900s.
3900X, even though
Yeah.
it's has four more active cores. It runs cooler and uses less power.
Right.
So you can actually, so if you want to save some money, you can actually put it on a 470 board and be fine. Because I've seen them dudes run the 3950 on a B320
Mhm.
without problems. But the only thing is you got to make sure that it's cool. So I would actually concentrate on cooling more
We
than
got,
with the
what was
the
it,
VRMs. Yeah.
Mr. 5C is what the case we got. So we got airflow.
Yeah, I would say, but you need some. You're gonna need um, either a decent heavy cooling um, what is it? Azrak, not Azrak, but the BlackRock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're running water,
The
right?
or the what's the other one?
Noctua. Noctua is what I'm running.
Cooler. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
No Cooler Master, you guys are haters.
If you're running water, yeah, Cooler Master if you're running water.
I mean, they got the Red River cooler. I don't know if that will work with Ryzen.
Or that's more expensive. That's like what, $150?
Now
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of the chip, but on the 2000 series
Mm-hmm.
NVIDIA video cards, they got a chip on there for her OBS, and the GPU could just process all that work for her.
Yeah, the NVIDIA chips are better at processing the
Yeah.
some of that stuff. I think it's like either like
One in the background.
26, 2070 or 2060 or something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
2060 on up. So as long as
Yeah.
you keep it
But
there.
what it is from the 2060 on up, it has their newest NV Ink, which is their encoder block.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's
it's more efficient at doing like X265 and all of that, all of the newer.
Is she going to stream games or what?
I don't know. I mean, she's in the chat. I don't think she's gonna stream games, but I think
No, she's gonna stream. If she's not going to stream games, then basically this is overkill. She can get away with a 6-core 3600.
we want.
Unless because the biggest thing they've seen about the cores and stuff like that is frames per second if you're streaming. But if you're not streaming games, then this stuff is overkill. So a 3600 will be more than sufficient to do what she's going to do.
We're black men, man. We throw 36-inch wheels on the Cadillac.
Well, hell, well, fuck it. We might get a 3960, man, and go all out. 3960 with 24 cores.
Yeah.
3960, why not a 32 core?
And well, then then the PG&E is gonna be calling you. The electricity man is calling you. You're gonna have a bill. So basically, if you don't want to make it too heavy because it's gonna start choking up your electricity.
Well, the goal is to stay under $1,500. Can we build a PC, a sufficient PC, comparable to an Alienware for $1,500 or less? That's the real goal right here.
Okay, what's the specs on the Alienware? Oh, talking about the laptop?
No,
it was desktop. It was ridiculous. BGS.
Yeah, here it is right here.
Yeah, look at that.
Okay, what's it?
9th generation Intel Core i5.
Oh shit, no, Core i5. Oh, that's bullshit.
Exactly.
I would say so. In other words, you're gonna run a Core 6 thread. You get a 3600. You could get 1660 is not bad. Dual channel memory. What 250? Come on, 256 gig. You could get a Rocket 1 terabyte NVMe for like if you got it on Black Friday, it was like $98. But I think the Rocket NVMe is like $119. So you can kill that. That's basically what you're running is a case.
Right.
That's what you're paying for with that. That's bullshit.
Yeah, well, you're paying for support too. Like we added a support package 3 years. So But you know,
Alienware branding.
anything goes wrong with your PC, you know, your Hangouts used to crash, and we used to start the whole thing over because you used to overclock and run a bootleg version of Windows 10 on there. So it was quite a few things, man, support issues that was running with your PC that you had to actually attend to.
It was a backup copy of Windows. It wasn't bootleg. Backup copy.
It's a backup. Okay. Yeah. Basically, if you would save a whole lot of money, okay. If I was going to build this and it's a gaming desktop with this, I'd go to I gotta go to a 3600 if you're gonna overclock it. Probably a what is it? An ASRock gaming board, which is like maybe $100. If you knew it was $100, if you want to go elsewhere, it'd probably be less. But I'd go ASRock 3600X if I wanted to overclock it. A 1660 is not bad if I'm gaming. 16 gigs is fine, but you can actually go up on the gigs if you go on that. So basically, yeah. And then give me a Rocket, because that's the biggest sticker on this one is going to be the NVMe. 256 gig is nothing, man. You can buy a terabyte for like 100. Like I said, the Rocket. No, basically no. If you get everybody's by the Sabrent Rocket, 1 terabyte that everybody's raving about. Like $119.
Boot as fast though.
Huh?
Will your computer boot as fast?
Oh yeah, yes. Boots. The M.2 boots almost instantly.
Yeah.
Because it's on board level. It doesn't go through the SATA ports.
Yeah. Kendra said that she doesn't PC game, but she want to future proof it, meaning that she doesn't want to have to buy another one in a few years, just some upgrades later on.
Yeah, I think her current PC is like 5 or 6 years old. So.
Yeah.
It would basically, it depends on what you're doing. Unless you're going to go into like, if you're doing like heavy duty PC gaming, then then you probably want even the 3600 because if it's IPC, because with 7 nanometers IPC actually runs fast enough. Because everybody's saying for gaming and even gaming streaming, that's the sweet spot. You put a NVIDIA on there, pay a little bit more for the NVIDIA 2060. That'll offload a lot of your streaming if you're streaming games, because it's actually going to bring your frames per second up on the receiving side and your pixels up on the streaming side if you're streaming games. But yeah, that's ridiculous for $1,700, man.
Yeah.
That don't make any sense.
Yeah.
You can do it for under $1,000, easy.
Right.
So
that's the goal with this discussion, right? Is let's build it out.
Because everybody's saying that what's the 2700X going for?
It was $20 less than the 3600.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think it was like 179 versus 159 or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Graphics card, gentlemen. Let's find the graphics card.
All my graphics cards I've had personally have been Asus.
Mm-hmm.
I've had really good luck with them, but a whole bunch of the kids I'm mentoring and my dad, who does a lot of Photoshop now, and my wife, I went with EVGA. And it's just as good and save some money.
Yeah, I've used a little bit of everything, and the only ones that have given me trouble were MSI.
Damn, why is that when MSI shows up?
Because they got that overclock software to overclock your GPU. So
no, what it is they're in every MSI product, there's always a corner cut. You can guarantee it. The only stuff that gets the love that it should get is their super high end stuff. So like if you buy like a high end, I don't know, say 2080 with their super cooler and all this other kind of stuff, the components on that card are gonna be pretty good. It's gonna hold up. But if you buy one of the lower tiers, there's always a corner that they cut somewhere, and it even comes out in the reviews that you either see on YouTube or you read online. Yeah.
I would have to ask, what type of operating system are you running on those lower tier boards?
Oh, Windows, right?
Windows,
yeah. Yeah,
that makes a difference. You know, that makes a difference, and you know, that's another conversation.
Oh, no
But
doubt.
Yeah.
you know,
See, the
when
thing
you're
is,
running
yeah.
Linux operating system,
Mhm.
the things that are sucking a lot of those resources, and I mean it's CPU dependent too. But I mean MSI, I've never had a problem with MSI, but I've never run Windows operating systems on an MSI board. I've always run Linux version uh, operating system on an MSI boards. Now Asus and the other ones, they're more they're built more robustly to
Mm,
handle a lot of the additional resource allocation
mm-hmm.
for a Windows operating system because we know it's top heavy. But I was looking at that video card. I'm sitting in a restaurant. It's kind of hard to see on the screen. But
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say, if you're gonna pick that video card, I don't know what type of motherboard you picked in the beginning because I was eating, but I would say make sure that you go back and look at the specs for that motherboard
Mhm.
in your shopping cart before you pick a video card or a robust one, because you want to make sure that all that stuff lines up with SLI and that you get a robust enough motherboard.
We, we, we,
Unless you're running something real special, you really don't need to run SLI anymore. They
Right.
have software and the program actually support it. So unless you're like
right.
running
98 CV or
some
something.
some 3D modeling or some heavy
AI.
duty AI something like that that supports the SLI, you really don't need it. So if
Right.
you're into SLI, if you running something that needs SLI, you already know it. You're not going to be dealing with anything low end like this. You're going to be building something like more like something like $3,000 or $4,000.
No, this is a
Well, I got
general
a basic.
purpose social media PC. This is what this
Yeah,
is.
well,
Yeah.
you get a basic video card that can support it, and you don't have to go into the high end stuff.
Now, if you running dual SLI, you want to get you some a couple of those Radeon 7s and plug them in and run them in SLI
Yeah.
if you really need them.
Yeah.
Because I'm hearing that those Radeon 7s are actually failed high end uh,
They're
boards, GPUs. They're actually like they were like the ones they're actually scheduled for was actually $5,000 or $6,000, but those are the ones that didn't bend right, so they just dropped them down. So instead of them being like $6,000 or $7,000, they made them 700. But they
Well, the
were
reason I
actually designed
recommend
for high end. Go ahead.
the reason I recommend, and like I said, you guys are picking some good picks. The
Mm-hmm.
reason I recommend that is because a lot of times, um, people will get a high gigabit or high gigabyte
Mm-hmm.
memory video card,
Mm-hmm.
and if you pick a particular processor,
Mm-hmm.
you pick a particular board, and like I had said earlier, ECC, excuse me, my bad, got a truck going past here. Uh, Hold on, put you guys on mute. That's rude of me.
Yeah, we'll get back to you. We got to kind of move on.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you're doing mission critical, you don't run ECC anyway. Just wasting your money.
Right.
So we need a graphics card, but we need something that's comparable to the 1600 that was in the.
What type of software is she going to use for video editing?
Yeah.
Just OBS is what we were talking about, but we need something that's comparable to the 1660 Ti. So what does AMD offer that is comparable to the 1660 Ti?
The 1660, I'm hearing if you can find them, I don't think they're out yet, but the 5500, but
The 5500 XTs.
Yeah,
I don't think they're out yet either. Not on the streets.
yeah, I don't think that AMD. If you're gonna get an AMD, you use a little bit more juice, but 590. But NVIDIA software is actually better for streaming.
Yeah.
That's why they have software that's inbuilt for streaming that offloads a lot of it off of your CPU.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and go for 1660 GPU.
Well, you don't believe in the AMD products?
No, it's not that. It's just for the programs that she's running.
I'm just
OBS
down for that in
for
life.
streaming. Yeah, for the streaming. Yeah.
Yeah.
They have NVIDIA has software for streaming. Also, a lot of your gamers are saying that if you're gonna game and you want a high frame rate on the other side, on your streaming side, basically your NVIDIA card will offload a lot of that work.
Yeah, like I'm an A&D guy through and through, but right now NVIDIA's encoding block for video is currently better than what AMD has.
Yeah,
Okay.
unless you're gonna spend a lot of money.
Yeah.
Okay, so
So unless you're gonna get you two Radeon 7s, then yeah.
So you guys are okay with the 1660 then, or the
Yeah.
The 1650 Super, if they have it in an 8 gig, would be the sweet spot, because it's essentially a 1660 Ti with like a block of shaders disabled, if I remember right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, they have the overclocked 580 right here. 8 gig.
Nah, we don't want the 580. Not for what she's doing. We want a NVIDIA.
Okay, let's select chipset then.
Scroll down some.
Yeah, down. There it goes. No, up. Up. There it
There
goes.
you go.
Okay.
Maybe we should get the 1660 Super.
Or the 1650.
Or the 1650 Super. Yeah.
Okay.
What kind of games is she running? Or what does she PC game at all?
She said she didn't.
Yeah.
Okay.
Super 1650. Oh,
there you go.
Oh, they're all 4 gigs.
Stay away from MSI. That's what.
They're all 4 gigs.
Yeah, they're all 4 gigs.
Yeah, this is.
Yeah. So what's the 1660s look like?
BGS, you have a Micro Center near you, right? Or a Fry's?
Fry's.
Okay.
Micro Center.
Yeah, right.
Where is Micro Center? Micro Center is close to the valley.
Yeah, right now,
White boys
Fry's
are.
going through a transition.
Is Fry's gonna survive, man? Because
they just going through based on what I heard from talking to them at the store, because I love Fry's. It's like
it's like home, huh?
Yeah.
The original Black Friday started at Fry's.
Yeah, but they said they're going through a transition period where they switching vendors. So I don't know when the last time you've been in a Fry's, but the stock is like super low. They're like trying to sell off everything until
you got the tariffs are really hurting them as well, because a lot of that stuff comes from China.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good Lord. Yeah.
That and online sales and stuff like that. Yeah, they getting hit.
Yeah, see, that's a good point though about online sales. But Micro Center, here in Cambridge, outside of MIT, is the most lucrative Micro Center in the country.
Yeah,
they do something like $1 million a day in sales, which is why they keep the store open. They have cheap real estate, and they they do a lot of.
I think Fry's is trying to do much with consumer stuff. It's like most of the store, because the PC section is small compared to the consumer stuff. I think they probably need just to concentrate on being back what they used to do, which is a geek store. But they tried to, to try to become a super center to where they become more like a consumer store,
like a Best Buy.
Well, yeah, like a geek Best Buy. You're right. Yeah.
Even Best Buy is selling motherboards now. Like I wouldn't touch anything from
it, because the compute, because they used to have a big computer parts section. Now it's like used to take up half the store. Now it's like maybe a corner of the store. So it's like because all the engineers used to come in there and get parts and stuff like that. But as the consumer stuff took over, it's the geeks, the parts department is like a little tiny corner over in the section. So while your motherboard's memory, everything you need for that is a little bitty tiny section now.
Yep.
So that's maybe that's the transition that they're going to. And eBay kills them because all the little tiny stuff that they used to get from Fry's, which you still need to. If you need it now, you walk into Fry's and see if you can find it. which is probably the problem. Now you walk in the fries and it's not there like it used to be.
So I wish we can just remove MSI from this listing. I know that's the consensus around here. Don't buy MSI.
Oh, just put a check mark on EVGA and Asus.
Okay.
I've had too many reports of people saying that the Gigabyte video cards fans start making noise after a while.
Oh, they start failing.
Yeah. So we can take the check mark out of Gigabyte if we want to. Just have EVGA and Asus.
How long ago was that?
Take the check mark out of Gigabyte. There we go.
Of those, I would pick that first one.
Okay.
Yeah.
It just looks sturdy.
Well, EVGA is pretty solid, and since the all of the other ones, the only one that have dual fans is that Asus Tough. I'd go with the EVGA.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's throw that in the cart then. You're buying an Asus at this point, you're kind of buying it for the name, I guess.
Yep.
Hey, Curlin and Christian, remember that brand Monster? They used to make the
That was a Diamond, actually.
Yeah, it was Diamond. It was Diamond.
Right.
But then you had
Creative Labs had one for a while.
Yeah, you had STB.
Yep.
Simply the best, yeah.
Well, NVIDIA bought out STB, or STB bought out NVIDIA. I can't remember which one was which.
NVIDIA bought out Voodoo.
No, they bought out STB and then they bought out Voodoo. They were just like stacking them then.
Yeah. Major consolidation that happened back then. So we have the graphics card, we got memory, we got everything else. We don't have a
operating system.
Well, that's I think that's
that should be everything for the tower itself.
Yeah. Do we have particular fans, or does that chassis come with fans, remote controlled, adjustable?
I think it has one or two.
I'm about to say we might have to plug that into the board. I can't remember if they've got a controller in the back of that case.
2700X come with a with the Prism cooler.
Yeah, the Wraith Prism.
Oh, Ref. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that'll cool it. You really don't need much more. It'll be a little bit more noisy, but you don't need a cooler. How many fans you got?
No case fans yet.
Okay.
It comes with one.
No,
it
you're
comes
gonna need
with
at least
one
a
or
couple.
two.
Does it come with one?
I think it's two.
I think it comes with one in the back.
Now you're gonna need a couple more.
That one holds what? 3 in the front?
3 in the front, some in the top, 1 in the back.
I was at minimum one at the 2 in the front.
Do you include the PSU fan as well?
No,
because it's under that shroud. So
I mean it'll cool it. It'll cool it just fine. But the thing is, you need some airflow inside the case.
Right.
Something's going on with the website. I don't think that thing's in stock.
What kind of power supply did you guys get her? At least 500.
Seasonic.
It was like 800 or something.
It was 750 or 800 or something.
Yeah. That's more than beefy enough.
Yeah. So we got the Seasonic 850 watt.
Yeah.
Gold series.
Well, good grief.
Yeah. Well,
okay.
Here's the thing, that like a 650 was like $30 less.
Grief. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Correct prices, man.
Oh, wow. I was going, wow, that's a lot of money for it. Yeah. Okay.
It comes with 2. It comes with 1 in the front and 1 in the back.
Okay.
That's a lot for a power supply. All right. It's got to be a gold.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's still in stock. Well, it is in stock, okay, but the website is having some issues. But it shows that it does have 1 fan in the back, so you do need a
you got a fractal case.
You need an intake fan to create positive airflow, right? From front to rear, we want that positive airflow.
I'm looking at the Newegg site. It's got 1 in the front, right in the middle, and 1 in the back.
What's your choice for fans?
Why
Noctua.
Why the fractal design case though?
That
Uh,
was Carlin's choice.
Yeah, that was what I recommended because
Oh.
it's got a pretty small footprint, and they were initially talking about micro ATX. I'm like, yeah, you can get away with this one because it's
Yeah, if you're gonna go micro ATX, then you probably need gotta have to go to water cooling. If you're gonna go
yeah,
micro ATX.
and this right here, this particular chassis is just a little bit larger than the size of a micro ATX case from say 4 or 5 years ago.
Okay.
So yeah.
Yeah, but I never bought that. I never bought that brand of case, but in my experience when buying cases, the fans that come with it are crappy. So I always replace all the fans that come up in there. So that's just what I do.
Yeah, used to buy Panasonics, man. Those Panasonic fans with a shizness back then. So
Wow, I gotta say that's before my time. Damn.
Panaflows were ill. Panaflows were ill.
Yeah. I want to say Fractal's cooling, Fractal's fans are solid though, unless
Yeah.
you just want something else.
Yeah. See what we got.
Now,
My biggest issue
Knock
is
2
noise.
Yeah.
Yeah, Knock
We-
2.
we've-
Yeah, Knock 2 if you don't want noise, it would be
You're gonna
And
pay
then
for it
Knock
though.
2.
and it pushes more air. And
Yeah.
the chat room already voted against RGB.
Well, yeah. Well, the thing is, why'd you get a glass case though?
Because everybody's got glass cased.
Even
Oh.
Walmart case.
If you're not gonna do RGB, then you shouldn't go glass case.
Well,
Now, if we're gonna go RGB, I say go for that top with the Corsair LL120s. That's what I got in my case now.
when you
I think let's go-
RGB, I thought you all were referring to like Pan Africanist fans or something like that. I was like, what are you guys talking about?
No, it's RGB to color.
Yeah, I stay away from Kingwin.
No.
Yeah, we got to find some Butter Lake stuff up in here. The amount of time we're spending on this is exactly what we would be doing in the store, right? Just kind of bouncing around aisle to aisle, just looking at stuff, man.
Antec's not bad.
I've had pretty good luck with Corsair stuff. It's just a little pricey.
Very pricey. You're paying for
Yeah.
the name.
I've actually had Cooler Master fans die out on me, case fans.
Yeah,
Yikes.
that's it.
It depends on what the cheaper the fan, the more likely it's going to have a sleeve bearing versus a ball
Ball
bearing.
bearing. Yeah.
Yeah. Sleeve fans, sleeve bearing tends to be a lot louder than ball bearing.
And die quicker.
Intermax is not bad.
Mm-hmm.
Thermaltake is always good.
Yeah, thermal tastes cool.
Mm-hmm.
So
In my servers, I got all Noctua.
yeah,
Me and my wife's PCs, we got the Corsair RGB stuff just because we like looking at lights.
yeah. I got three. I got three Thermaltake rings in mine.
How you like the airflow on them?
Airflow's fine.
Especially being out in Cali.
Yeah, I have them toned down because I don't want to cut back on the noise.
Now, do you run your PCs all day even when you're not there, or do you kind of?
It stays on.
Oh man.
Yeah, mine never goes off.
It stays on. What it stays on, but I have it on. I have it go to sleep, so I don't really turn it off. So after like 2 or 3 hours, it'll just go to sleep, and because the especially if you have SSDs, you touch it, it'll boot up in like 2 or 3 seconds. So
Yeah.
it doesn't have to just stay constantly on. So if it goes to sleep, it goes in sleep mode just like a laptop. So you press the bar,
Like
it boots up in like 3 seconds. So
yeah, it's like a sleep state.
it's sleep state, yeah.
Yeah.
We basically sleep state. The only thing it keeps on is the board and the memory, because everything else basically shut. Even the power supply goes into a sleep state. It just puts in enough juice just to keep on the board and memory alive.
Mm-hmm.
So everything
What
else
power
goes to
supply you
sleep. I actually have a Thermaltake RGB.
got? Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Thermaltake RGB. What do I have? I have a Cooler Master 24L, 240L.
But see, the motherboard has the 3-pin headers on there, right? And you can actually make the adjustments to.
Yeah.
The board we picked out's got the 4 pins, so
it's got 4 pins. Yeah.
It can adjust the speed, everything.
Yeah.
So like, hey, the case is getting hot. It jacks up the fan speed on everything. If it gets cooler, it'll cut them off or just put them down to a certain speed. So we good.
Yeah, basically, you know, yeah, it is when you set up your fan profile, it'll tune it to where it will below a certain temperature, it'll run like half speed or less than half speed. Like mine runs below 40 degrees, before 40 degrees C, it runs at like 40%, and then it'll ramp up from there.
Okay.
So it doesn't kick into high gear to like over 60 degrees C.
Okay. So Christian, do you know the spec, or Curlin, do you know the spec of the intake fan?
They're 120s. I don't see how much airflow it pushes out.
But so it has 1 fan or 2 fans?
It has 1 fan in the front, right in the middle sector. You can put 3 in the front, 2 at the top, 1 in the back. So you got 1 in the middle on the front, and you got the 1 in the back that comes with the case.
Yeah. I think most cases, even the smaller ones, take 140s at least at the minimum. Yeah, so I'd go 140 at the minimum.
Because if you throw too many fans in there, you're gonna offset the pressure, right? So you want that positive pressure to be consistent. You can't have 2 fans at the top sucking out, and then 1 fan at the back sucking out, and then another fan pushing in. The airflow has to be consistent, from my experience. So if you have that many fans inside of the system, it's going to sound like a hovercraft.
Yeah.
It
depends if you get your fan speed, your fan profile set up.
Yeah, your fan profile set up like mine's on now. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fans.
Aha, got you beat 7.
Sucker.
Fans.
Yeah, that's well, I don't have a fan on the CPU, so I guess so.
I wasn't even counting that. 8.
8.
So do we have
you can do
series of fan that we want to go with, what's gonna
I would go
Noctua straight raw fan, or if we want to go the RGB route, Corsair, or Thermaltake.
If we're not going RGB, yeah, I would go Thermaltake if we're not going RGB. But if you wanted to be really, really quiet, I would say Noctua.
Noctua?
Yep.
Okay, let me select that then. $34 for this.
Yeah, they're quiet. That's the problem. But if she can stand a little bit of noise, I would go Thermaltake.
That it's quiet and it moves a whole lot of air. A whole lot of air.
Yeah, you're paying for the premium. But the thing is that if you don't want to do that, I would go Thermaltake.
I mean, this is what the government uses.
Yeah.
What, Noctua?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Noctua is rock solid, but you're gonna pay.
So
that's German. You're gonna pay for the German engineering.
Oh yeah. How many do we want to go with? 2, 3?
Well, those 120s.
I said 4.
2 in the front. You already got 1 in the back. Do you want to do 2 at the top?
Yeah, I personally wouldn't do that because we're only using a 2900X.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you go 1, 1, and 1, basically the 1 in the back, 1 at the top here, and put 1 in the front to bring in air, and the 2 at the top to exhaust. So the 1 in the back and 1 at the top to exhaust.
So we're saying 4.
I want to say yes, 1 to 2. It already comes with 2 fans.
The case comes with 2.
Yeah.
The case comes with 2. Yeah.
Yeah. So we can add another 1 in the front, and we can add another 1 at the top.
Yeah.
Just so we get we're on the same page. Take out the 2 that's already standard, or
no, leave those 2. Just add another 1 to the front and add 1 at the top.
Okay, so let me update that then. I don't know if I could stomach 34 bucks for a fan. Yeah, that's
Well, if you want to go,
right.
well, if you don't want to do that, go to Thermotech.
no, that's all right. It's all right.
They're a little bit more noisy, but I think they're like at half the price. Or
And they RGB since we already got a glass case.
Oh my god.
no, you can get the non-RGB Thermotech, I do believe.
Yeah, but why bother?
No, see, there you go, man.
Yeah.
Negroes.
RGB makes it
Can't
extra
keep 'em
$200.
Negroes can't keep Negroes happy, man.
We need a Blu-ray ROM for this thing so we can install Windows on it.
Yeah, we don't need the front USB to install Windows. Man, the case doesn't even have like a 5 1/4.
It doesn't?
No,
No.
nobody who uses them now, man.
Oh, so we need an external, that's all.
Or we could just put a flash drive on there and
Yeah, that's what happened. You put a flash drive in there.
You don't burn CDs anymore? Like,
no.
what is going on here? What planet
We,
are we on?
we gave that up with the zip drive.
Man, you know, I got they have a I got a lot of legacy stuff, and maybe I might use my my DVD drive maybe twice a year, maybe.
Yeah, what am I gonna do with all these bootleg movies that I got from the brother up the street, man?
You put on your Plex server.
You stream
I know.
it. You stream it. Well, does she have legacy stuff that she has on CDs or DVDs?
I don't know.
hope not.
Well, she got an old system. She might. Even Windows, they tell you to download it
I know,
from the
me
server.
too.
Well, Micro Center has the DVD in stock, so we're gonna just throw that in there for the sake of it. Yeah. So let me get the burner, man.
Man, just to load it up.
Oh,
$220.
No, man.
They still
that's the
cheaper
fine.
ones for like 60
Yeah,
bucks.
you gotta find something cheaper.
$30 for mine. I paid $30 for mine. So
The LG.
here we go right here.
Yeah.
Man, I give her one, bro. Shit.
Actually, I got one on my desk right now. I ain't using.
No, I'm just playing though. I mean, it's worth having, I guess.
Yeah, wait, in an emergency. Yeah.
Yeah, in case. Yeah.
I always find something.
We don't need no protection plan for that, man. All right, so we're at 1249 right now. What are we missing from this?
Just operating system, I think.
Besides operating system, let's just toss the operating system.
Man,
Yeah, Mike, we're not going into monitors, right?
We may be able to if we
Okay.
save enough money.
Yeah.
but we're at
149 for Windows. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I know I paid like
It's never cheaper anywhere else, is it? Like, is it?
I paid 20 bucks for mine.
Might be. I want to say it's like $100 for home. She's not going to be getting onto a domain or anything, so we can go to home. Or if she's already like registered with Microsoft, her copy, so you can just say like, I've upgraded.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on a second.
All right. Mike's getting his backup copy of Windows now.
Yeah, I'm gonna make her hack. You guys trying to build a hack machine, man. I'm spending some money.
Well, we just want to make sure she doesn't call out something like, "Hey, I can't run this."
Now she's built them before, so she's pretty handy. I said Natua fans. Natua fans normally only get the Natua fans if you're gonna actually put the fans on a cooler.
I got like 4 servers here. I just got them on my servers because the way it pulls heat out, I'm so happy with it. And on me and my wife's computer, we got the exhaust, the one in the back. I got Noctuas on that. Everything else is RGB.
Yeah. Noctua is basically for quiet. There was one other one that was, but it's not on Micro Center. There was one other brand because this one guy he tested all of them. Which one would actually quiet his fans?
Fantech.
No, that wasn't it. I'm trying to remember what it was, and they're actually really cheap. They weren't that expensive.
Yeah.
He tested a bunch of them. Those are actually the quietest ones. But what was the other one? Was it Dark Rock?
Yeah.
Dark Rock's fans were the black one. The Dark Wings are actually really, really quiet too. The Dark Wings might be even cheaper than the Noctua, but I don't think they had them up there, did they?
Wasn't looking for them though.
The dark. I think I think Noctua is a little bit more than the Dark Wings, but the Dark Wings are. They said the Dark Wings might be even quieter than the Noctua.
It looks better.
She also needs a keyboard and mouse, right? Because I think that might be her preference, right? So let's look at a monitor now. What's your preference of a 23-inch monitor?
So are we going what? Are we going to 4K or are we going 1080p?
1080p.
1080p.
Why not a 27-inch?
Yeah, I was about to say 24s are almost a standard now. It's hard to find 22s.
Man, I wouldn't go for her. I probably wouldn't go lower than 27. It should be fairly cheap for a 1080p 27-inch.
Yeah.
What's your branding model then?
Try to see what Samsung is first.
Samsung.
Yeah, because Samsung makes their own glass. So I'll go Samsung first and work my way down.
Dell's, and I can't remember that other one that starts with an A.
Well, Samsung's usually the manufacturer. Let's start with them first.
Are you talking about Acer?
Not Acer.
You always start with the people that make their panels.
Oh, AOC.
AOC, yeah.
Omega Computer.
AOC is cheaper, yeah. But I would say I'll start with Samsung first and see what they. If you can get you a good Samsung. I've had a Samsung, man. Old Samsung around here. God, I've had it for what, 12 years.
I'm gonna hop over here, fellas. It's been fun.
Hey, have a good one, Curly, man. It's good having you on.
Hey, not a problem.
All right.
Yep, 27-inch Dell, 130.
Okay. Now, do you trust this one? 75 hertz.
Yeah, I got 3 on my desk right now. Yeah.
We'll add that to the comparison list.
Okay. Hit that AOC for 159. Oh wow, that's what 24-inch for. What was that? $30 more?
It's curved, so keep that
It's
in
curved.
mind.
Yeah, it's curved. Yeah.
And it's got a higher refresh rate.
Okay. Oh yeah, 144. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll make that comparison. Let's throw a third one in there. 20. That's 23 inches. So okay, we're trying to stay under 200, right? So let's kind of break this down.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, 1080p you're gonna find a lot of them. So everybody's going higher than 1080p.
How about that 189 for the AOC? It's a 27-inch.
I'd stay with the Dell if you're gonna.
It's just
As
it's
an
got that higher
AOC.
refresh rate.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's for
Now-
gaming. Man.
it's for refresh rate is for if you're gaming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I can't really tell the difference.
Yeah.
They have a 60 hertz for 120.
There's AOC for 119. Yeah.
Let's go down here. I was looking for a refurbished one because you can never go wrong with refurbished sometimes.
At this price is what you're gonna say what $30 for a refurb, maybe $20 at this rate.
Maybe you may. I found refurbs for up to 60-70% off.
But at this rate.
Yeah. All right, so we got 3 up there. We need one more. Let's see what's on the other page. All right, let's do the comparison. Oh, this one has AMD FreeSync.
Okay, AMD FreeSync. The others got nothing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Dell probably. Yeah. 75 hertz. Yeah, the Dell is probably the best one out of the bunch.
Yeah.
Anti-glare. You definitely want anti-glare. So yeah.
IPS screen.
Yeah.
Response time 6 milliseconds. They say this is 1 millisecond for the AOC.
Yeah, 144 is 144. So
It's
yeah.
a gaming monitor.
Yeah, it's a gaming monitor.
Yeah.
Oh, whoa. That's only got a 1-year warranty on it?
You.
Dude, you're buying the Dell.
Yeah, if they're gonna fail, they're gonna fail within a year.
Yeah. And if you get 3 years out of it, man, you are really good.
Man, I mean, basically, these things last like 5, 6, 7, 8 years, something like the Samsung, like I said, I had last 10. So and so the back, the only thing you worry about is backlight going out, and basically that used to happen a lot, man. Like 20 years ago, but now they built them to where with the LED backlights. But when they went away from the fluorescent,
yeah,
they don't fail no more.
So, okay, so the Dell comes with a 1 year, but the AOC comes with a 3 year, but the Dell is bigger, the AOC is smaller. If you add,
AOC is curved.
Yeah, the AOC is curved. Yeah, that's why it's more.
Yeah. So if you add a Micro Center 3-year warranty, so you're going to spend maybe another $30 on a warranty for 3 years. I don't know. What's your take on how do you make a decision on this?
Well, basically, with monitors, I roll the dice. The odds on a monitor failing with past a year are fairly low.
Okay, now the AOC has actually got a display port on it. The Dell's only got VGA and HDMI. It doesn't have a display port. I run 3 monitors, so I need a display port. If this is going to be her only monitor and she hooks it up HDMI, she's probably cool. And it's like 3 inches bigger. Go with the Dell.
Go with the Dell?
Yeah.
All right. Yep. We'll go with Dell then. 3-year warranty is $40. If it fails, 50-50
chance. Let's do a 2-year warranty, because like if it fails after that, she might hey, I want a 32, 36.
It's gonna be
because they're gonna get cheaper.
Yeah.
Because they're moving away from 1080p anyway.
Yeah.
All right.
Is she still in the chat?
Yeah, she said.
Do you use macros at all, ma'am? I'm not to call her ma'am.
I don't think she games that much.
Oh, you talking about to get a link? Elgato.
I got a Corsair keyboard and I got like 6 macros.
Oh, okay.
So like, if she's going to use macros, I'm going to like, okay, on the keyboard and the mouse, let's get this that she can get set up macros and have it automatically run stuff.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. What do you have? The M keyboard or?
I got that. Was it K95?
Okay. With the brown keys or the red keys?
I want the red. I want the cherry reds. I like my stuff clickety.
Yeah. I'm the same. I like the mechanical feedback.
I want people to know that I'm typing.
Yeah. And the funny thing is that it's funny that you say that because I have noise cancellation headsets now, and I can't hear anything in the office. So even if people are typing and whatnot, man, farting, whatever they're doing now.
At my job this week, they actually sent me a message like, "Yeah, man, can you stop typing?" It's like, "Oh, yeah."
Once you get one of those keyboards, man, it's hard to let those things go, man. You end up getting OCD for it, man. That if you don't that tactical feedback, it's like something's not right. What do you use for keyboard, PGS?
Yeah, what am I using? Logitech. Yeah. I don't type like you guys, so.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Just use Siri or Alexa. Just use
no, I mean, for the little stuff that I actually use it for. Yeah. I don't. You guys would type what? 100 words a minute, something like that.
Man, probably about that. Probably about 80.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
you guys type for a living.
Keyboards on. I mean, I don't even care, man. I mean, I holler at one of the guys that work at the help desk. They always getting like a million Dell keyboards that come with computers that they just gonna throw in a box somewhere.
Yeah,
I use that. That's me.
Yeah. Well, if you type,
I'm not gonna spend no money on no keyboard. In my
if you type for
that's
a
just
living,
me.
if you type for a living and you type a lot, that the guys that actually use the keyboards a lot, they're really particular about their keyboards.
Yeah,
they want free feedback.
It's about ergonomics too. Like an ergonomic keyboard is actually beneficial if proper tongue.
I mean, I used to program. I mean, as well, writing VBA. So, I mean, I didn't type, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, a regular keyboard is fine for me, I guess. I mean, people have their own preference, but I personally wouldn't spend, no money on a keyboard like that. Now, I spend money on keyboards, like wireless keyboards, like for my TV, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But as far as like working, I get one they finna throw away. That came out the Dell box.
Them guys freak out. Those guys freak out, man. If it's not the right keyboard, they freak out. I can't stand it. The laptop. I don't like the keyboard. It's like, okay, y'all freaking out. The travel, they get into the travel depth.
Yeah.
if the travel depth is too narrow, they don't get enough tactile feedback, and they freak out, man. If the enter and escape button is in the wrong place.
Yeah, that matters.
I'm sure it does.
Yeah. Especially if you're gaming.
True. If you're gaming,
that stuff really matters in that area. I'm an oddball. I use the arrow keys for first-person shooters. I don't use WASD.
You go all the way over to the arrow keys.
Well, I have my desk pretty spread out, so I can kind of spread the keyboard out as well.
Oh, okay. Because
all my functions are on my my Logitech mouse.
Yeah, well, the thing is, you gotta for all your other functions and stuff like that. Oh, you can put your functions on the mouse. Okay.
Yeah, my zoom. I can zoom in, with the sniper rifle and stuff like that. So
okay.
From the,
so basically you don't hit the function keys at the top, huh?
No.
Okay.
You can bind. You create binds.
Because that's one thing I've never used is arrow keys for SPS.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you got to go all the way to the arrow key. Say, oh, nuh-uh.
That's how,
No,
that's
you
how I
start.
got started. That's how I got started. In Quake 1 and Hexen.
I've never used arrow keys, man. I've always used the letter keys.
Yeah, I mean, Joakim Noah, man, he throws the ball up an odd way, but it goes in, man. So
Yeah, well, yeah, I'm not knocking you, man. It's just like he's also an inefficient scorer too. So would you want to be Steph Curry or Joakim Noah?
well,
Ouch, ouch.
yeah.
Yeah.
This is Christian's keyboard, I think, right here.
No, not that one.
Okay.
It's the K95.
Okay.
So is she gonna be typing a lot on this? She's not gonna be typing a lot on this, man. I wouldn't,
Scrolling up, I think there was like 180.
Oh man.
God damn.
I would say I'm with you, bro. For keyboard, man. Oh hell no.
I got a special discount on it. I only spent $100 on it. I was like, yeah, how about that?
Only, huh? Only.
That's still too much, man.
There,
I'm
there it is
rocking
for
with
180.
You see the Cherry MX. See that.
Yeah, see, those are Cherry MX Browns. I got the Cherry MX Reds, but that right there for 180. That's what I got on my desk now.
I see. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me answer
you guys are OCD.
Well, not me, but
Julian asked me what kind of mouse do I have. I have a Logitech MX mouse. So it's weighted. It feels really good in my hand. I started off in gaming with the Razer Boom Slam, if you can remember that.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
I had a Boom Slang and a Voodoo Banshee, I think it was at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I went ape shit on everybody, man. Before you used to have integrated graphics, and the graphics were so choppy in first-person shooters back then. In Quake 2 and Quake 3, it was trash, and so you used to get picked off a lot because your computer wasn't fast enough. The other guy was much faster.
Oh yeah.
You come through the teleport and you get immediately squashed.
Oh yeah, you can get
Yeah. So once I got the graphics card and a new mouse, man, and a new keyboard, I was invincible, man. You couldn't stop me. So I learned back then that all these little components matter. The weighted mouse mattered big time because a cheap mouse, man, the tactical functions on it, the weight of it just wasn't right. In the tracking of it.
Oh yeah, I think the tracking is probably more important.
Yeah.
Because you aim at something, a little crosshair. If it doesn't hit what you aimed at, man, you're in trouble.
Yeah, your mouse on the X and Y axis.
Oh
man,
yeah.
Very critical, man. So you can
See,
actually,
I think that's why I didn't get into it like you, Mike. Because most of the games I played were like strategy based on the computer.
Yeah.
When I was coming up, it was like I played a lot of Command and Conquer, and you didn't really need like that extravagant of equipment to play those type of games, I guess, in my opinion. I guess
No, you don't.
I guess that's why I didn't get too deep into because I remember looking at it, but I never played any type of first person shooters.
Oh man,
nah, back then. Nah.
That was the stuff, man. FPS going all the way back to Castle Wolfenstein.
Yeah, I played Doom and Wolfenstein, but it wasn't. I don't know. It didn't make it any better because you wasn't playing against nobody. So I guess based on what you talking about, Mike,
Duke Nukem 3D.
Yeah. If you didn't have a really good Unreal as well, Unreal Tournament. If you didn't have a really good PC, then it was hard to really absorb the entertainment aspect behind it. But once you get a good PC, man, that thing was on another level, man. The graphics and everything else, man. And you can actually modify your config script, so you can bind all your keys and stuff like that for rockets and switch from rocket to chain gun, and from chain gun to a rail gun and things like that. It was just a whole different experience.
Well, if you're gonna go on a campaign, don't start it easy.
Yeah. Well, I played professionally, so I played Improving Grounds. So I played versus 3, 5 versus 5 back then when we used to run. And back then, man, people had 56K, man, going against guys with DSL and cable, man. You were getting
Oh yeah. Oh, you can
Yeah,
do
you
that,
had no
man.
chance.
Yeah, sure. You got to go to LAN.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
DSL didn't come out back then, right? So DSL didn't come out till like 2000 up here
really? Okay, because I got my when did I get my DSL? 98.
yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense out there, but out here we didn't have that, so we had to go through an infrastructure build.
Okay.
But Diamond back then came out with a dual shotgun modem called the
Yep.
56K times 2. So you had to get two different phone lines in there, and you would get 112K, right? 56 times 56.
Wow. It's like TG nowadays.
Yeah, you get a shot, huh?
Oh man, you had an immense advantage, man. As long as no one picked up the phone while you were gaming, man.
Oh, somebody's always gonna pick up the phone, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Someone's gonna call something.
Yeah, you're gonna get the complaint. Who the hell?
Yeah, you see
What is
the
it? Wait a minute. What is this buzzing I hear?
right, you see the little icon, man, on the side of the screen that shows that your line is disconnected because somebody.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's how people get to be night owls, because that's the only time you can actually be online without people bothering you in the middle of the night.
So a lot of brothers, man, used to play back then. We're from the hood. We didn't have high speed internet, man. We only had 56K dial-up, man. So
Oh yeah. Oh man.
33.6.
That was 30. Oh, that was
Right,
brutal.
28K.
Oh God. Well, you always go back to the even before that. So
There used to be a thing called X-Band that you can actually put on like your Nintendo, your Super Nintendo.
yeah,
And it was like 2,400 baud, but when you're playing Killer Instinct on that, it was like someone's in the room.
yeah.
So I remember the 2,400 baud days.
Yeah, CompuServe and all that, man.
oh yeah, CompuServe, yeah.
Prodigy Internet. So we're at the end of this build, and we've reached 1577. Let's look at the Dell build. The Dell is 1708.
Yeah, but that's without a monitor.
Well, we were
just got a monitor. Oh, that's what. That was without a monitor.
Right, we were able to add.
Yeah.
So we were able to keep it under the price of the Alienware, right? So
now hold up, wait. Now that's a 256 gig M2 on Alienware, and we got what? A terabyte.
You got a spinning drive though, right?
We got a spinning drive for like
storage,
large files, but we got like what was it, terabyte? Oh, 500.
Yeah, 500.
But we got twice the speed. I mean, twice the space on the M2.
Yeah.
And 2 more cores.
And how much memory did we do 32? And this is only 16?
16.
I think we did 32.
Yeah, they did 32. You did 32.
So we got double the RAM, double the space, plus an extra one for storage. My opinion, a better processor.
And it's future proof because of the power supply, right? And the chassis is more preferable than what this Alienware is, right? Looks just like a Dell Dimension with a few doodads on it.
If it was strictly gaming, you wouldn't have gone for the 2700X though.
Nah.
You're gone for the 3600.
Yeah.
But since you're streaming, the 2700 is better.
I have a i5 in my system, man, and people in the chat laugh at me and say, "Why can't you have all those tabs open?" Man, this thing doesn't slow down at all. I don't remember last time this thing has ever slowed down or rebooted on me.
Which i5 do you have in there?
Let me bring that up.
Like an 8000 series i5.
Well, how much memory you got running?
Yeah, it's more dependent on memory as far as tabs is concerned. And what browser you use, because Google Chrome is a hog. It used to be lean, but it's a hog now.
Yeah. So I have the i5 8365U, so it's the portable version. And gigs of memory, which is the most you can put in this. This is just a tablet, but it doesn't slow down at all. So.
Oh yeah, tablet's gonna be lightweight.
Yeah. but I don't feel any slowdown at all. So I'm only using 15.8 gigabytes or 1.5 gigs. The rest of it is all usable. So that being the case, I think we've reached our goal on this, man. Can you build a sufficient PC today for $1,500 and under?
Oh yeah, yeah. We actually went into overkill with the boards and stuff like that. We into overkill because you probably have a better board than what's in the Alienware.
Oh yeah, the Alienware is probably proprietary. So
yeah, it's probably have a better board, more cores.
It was only what, 6 cores, 12 threads, and we went with what?
I think the Alienware was 6 core, 6 threads. The 9700. It doesn't have hyper threading.
Oh, screw that.
Yeah, no, it doesn't have hyper threading.
Yep, 6 core, 6 threads. Nah, dude.
Yeah. You could have even gone even. If you want to actually match it, you could have actually gone and save a whole lot more money. Get a 2600 instead of a 27.
Yeah, I was thinking about going with like an AMD Duron. You have any?
Duron? Do they still make them? Yeah, you save a lot of money because what are they worth? Like $30 or something like that?
13.
$13.
For like $10 in China.
Yeah, I was gonna actually dip one in like white gold or something and put it around the chain as my medallion. Man.
Okay.
I got one just to brush my goatee.
Oh yeah. Don't bend those pins, man.
Yeah.
Man, we've done it, man. So to people in the chat, you can build a sufficient PC today for under $1,500, minus the monitor, better than the retail brands of Alienware and some of these other corporate brands. But I want to do a throwback here for a quick second, man, because
I'm looking at the Mac Pro, boy. That Mac Pro is gonna get killed by them Hackintoshes. Jesus, looking at the being at $6,000. It's a good Lord.
I can't remember who makes it, but someone actually makes that case. That
you
buy for the PC.
You can actually buy it. Yeah, Leon Lee.
Yo, the stand for that actual whatever that monitor is that you could buy for it, it's $1,000 by itself. It's crazy.
So I'm gonna a spec'd out Mac Pro is $52,000. So are you freaking kidding me?
It actually can be higher. I believe it's like 60,000 since.
That's the peak with the what do they call it? What do you call it? Now, what's the name of the accelerator that they have down there? That's like that's $4,000.
Yeah.
Now, you want to do a throwback, Mike? How far are we throwing back?
Remember these, Christian?
Until Adam.
Oh, hold up. That one, the BX.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I had while I was first putting my little data center together at the house for it.
I remember you showed pictures of that. You showed pictures.
You go back 486. What are you doing?
No, that's a BX board. So that's a 2 board. But these guys had figured out they were the only ones that figured out.
Okay.
You can run on processors in dual format. This was unheard of back then, right? And you had the AGP slot.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Dual core computer.
It was a dual processor. Yeah.
That was the first dual processor motherboard I had. I had like 4 of those.
Really?
Yeah.
Yep. When I was trying to get all my certs way back in the Windows NT days.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And
that was before VMs. Yeah. You actually had to put that together.
Yeah. So you would have like a NVIDIA TNT2 Pro 16 meg.
I had an ATI Expert at Play.
Oh man, you
ATI. Okay, yeah.
That was nothing compared to the TNTs, man. So you had this, man, with what do you call it? Quake 3, because Quake 3 was multi-threaded. The only game that was multi-threaded for multiple processors at the time.
Unreal and Unreal Tournament both could.
Yeah, Unreal. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they'll
But they came later, didn't they?
Oh yeah,
they
they came
much later. But Quake 3, it was the only engine that could actually run it. It didn't run it efficiently, but the fact that you had it. If you said in the chat room, what kind of system are you running? Well, I'm running A-bit VP or VP6 with dual Celeron processors, and I got 32 megabytes of memory, and
512 megs of memory.
back then.
Back then, man.
Yeah, 512 megabyte.
Yeah, well,
Yep.
yeah. You went deep in your pockets, man.
Yeah.
Because I remember my friends come up, was like, "How long is it going to take you to boot up?" I was like, "Man, I gotta get it to 512 megabytes."
Oh God.
Yeah. So you had that, plus you had the Creative Lab sound card, or
the sound card. Yeah.
And you had the RAID array port, so everybody ran RAID 0 and prayed and crossed their fingers and hoped that their
That's been trailed.
Crash.
Yeah. Yeah, here's an actual system right here, man. This was crazy back then. Very crazy.
Oh wait, hey, bring up a picture of the Peltier.
What was that at?
A Peltier cooler?
Yeah.
Well, you had guts, man.
Yep, I had 2 of those. Overclocked my 300s to 450. And I had all that in the I had all that in the Enlight ATX case.
Yeah, if that Peltier failed, man, you were screwed.
Yeah, you screwed. And I remember I was playing Age of Empires, and my Peltier went out, and it had that little ambulance sound. I was like, why they got an ambulance in Age of Empires? They ain't got no crap.
Yeah, that's your board speaker going on.
You have Arctic Silver on your CPU as well?
Yep.
Yeah, that Arctic Silver.
Or that IC Diamond.
Yeah, you had guts, man, running a Peltier on your CPU.
I used to work for it's a small company called G&H Computers.
Mm-hmm.
Website used to be WeSellCoolStuff.com.
Yeah,
I had access to all that stuff. They was like, "Hey, Chris, take this home, test it out." All right.
Yeah, man. And then after that, MSI came out with the dual Athlon system.
Yep.
Was it the Athlon or the Opteron?
It depends. The Opteron was the Opterons were server chips.
Yeah.
So if you had dual Opterons, man, you're running on
here it is, right here.
Different.
Wow, that's expensive.
Well, it's
no. Back in the day.
This is old, man. Back in the day, you're talking about what $1,500 for that board? Something like that?
I want to say like $800-900 easy.
Okay. I thought it was more than that.
And then everybody got mad because you had to spend, what was it, like another $300-400 for the processors.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. What, you running Celerons?
No, this is the AMD. This is AMD. So
AMD. Yeah, okay.
Yep. You were able to do that with the Athlons back then, but you know what it was, Christian? It was Athlon MPs.
There you go.
Versus multi-processor,
yeah. That's what it was. So and then Asus killed the game with the
BP6 and
let me see the
BP6.
Athlon, was it? Nah. Yeah, it was an A7M. Yep. This was like the king back then. If you got one of these, you were the man. Yeah, you were definitely the man. The configuration was just right. You could put that big graphics card in there, like the Voodoo 5 with the dual fans on there. It was really long, but it was really good. This was a Butterlay setup back then. And then after that, they came out with the Opteron. That was a few years later.
Yep.
but having dual Pentium, remember the Pentium slot ones?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Sure, I still got one of those. My other job.
Mm-hmm. Here it is, right here.
Wow, this is really old.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
And this was good. This was big. This was big pimping back then. This was like the equivalent of having like an SUV.
Yeah, those things. I know the slots came from the servers because they used to plug those into those server racks.
Yep.
Those
Mhm.
I think Google started out doing that shit when they first started their search centers. Had a lot of those.
Yep.
With those slot CPUs.
Yep. The Intel Itaniums actually ran their chips like that as well.
Mm-hmm.
The Itanium processors.
Damn, you going way back.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, yeah, I'm an old school cat, man. And if you got an Itanium, man, in the geek world, you were held king for quite some time.
No, yeah. Your pockets were light too.
But not even just the pockets, just the aspect of you got an Itanium processor.
Yeah, your pockets are light. You gonna spend some money, man. These things weren't cheap.
Let me see, Itanium processor. These coolers were awful back then.
Yep.
The orbs, all those things were awful.
They still basically what is it? The AMD was just using those a version of them.
Mm-hmm. Anything else, Christian, you can remember back then, just for nostalgia purposes?
Trying to think of that K63 motherboard I had.
Oh yeah.
What's his name? Tyann made it.
Yeah.
They made an AT and an ATX one.
Yeah, those are single sockets, right?
Yeah, there were single sockets, but like, yeah, that one right there. Hold up, the AT one right there. I think it's the Trinity. That one, you had to have a special case just to be able to hold that motherboard.
Yeah.
And then I put like 5 of those together, and I had like the entire city calling me up, hey, can you build one of those for me?
Mm-hmm.
They had had a mega cache on it, because that's when they had cache on the motherboard instead of the processor like they have now.
Yep. I got I remember these, man. These tie-in boards with the slanted
Memory sticks. Yep.
Oh, I hate those.
Oh man,
I hate those.
Yeah, they sucked.
Yeah.
I hate those, man. Trying to, because you put them in, man. If you didn't get them in just right, man, you get you boot yourself up and say memory failure. Fuck. You got to go back in
and reseat the RAM.
Yep. Oh God, I hate those slanted ones. I hated them.
And you had to have a special power supply for it too, man. You couldn't just run anything off of that thing, man. I remember I ran a motherboard, man. I forget which brand it was, man. And the power socket actually melted on me because it was
what?
Yeah, it melted. The processors overloaded the it melted it. Remember, you used to have to set the jumpers on there, man. In order
What are you doing? Overclock? Trying to overclock the thing?
No, in order to
I remember.
In order to configure a CPU to work, you had to set the jumpers correctly.
Yeah, I only had to set the jumpers. Why'd you melt the
power supply wasn't strong enough.
Yeah, the power supply. If the power supply is weak, then the processor is breaking down like a
Yeah.
At the time, I didn't know any better.
Okay. You're running dual CPUs. You got to have a beefy power supply. You can't go to the swap meet and buy a power supply.
Well, he didn't wait till next. He didn't wait until next month for the computer shopper to come out. You gotta have this type of power supply for last month's processors.
Basically, since I was in California, the Taiwan was where all this stuff was being shipped over. We just go to the computer fair. And you know, you got 100 vendors. Somebody's got it.
Yeah, but the thing is, you have multiple power supplies being sold for like 400 watts or whatever it was, right? But not all power supplies were created equal back then. Just because it said 400 watts doesn't mean that it was 400 watts. That was the maximum it would trip at. But overall, it never really gave out 400. They only gave out like 130 watts, and that wasn't enough. So that's what actually melted it. So
yeah. Because I remember when we finally broke 300-watt power supplies. Like, man, what's going on? That's too much power.
that was the Pentium 3. That was the Pentium 3 that demanded that. So let me step away for 1 second.
Man, I think I just like threw away my BP6s this summer.
You threw away a what?
The BP6, the dual Celeron motherboards he was showing earlier. Yeah, I had like 3 of those in a rack. And at my other job, there was like, "Do you want this stuff?" It's like, "Nah, you got no room for it, and I don't need it."
I mean, you could have sold it on eBay.
It's still around, huh?
I still had it around. It was like, "What did you do?" I was like, "This is how I learned my stuff."
Oh, okay.
Anybody remember those days with computers with turbo buttons on them?
Yep. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I was manager at the bank here locally, and they gave me a new computer, and the keyboard had the turbo button on it. And I was like, "When the hell do I want the computer to run slow? Why is this even an option?"
I think it has to do with like certain software that didn't run on a higher frequency or something like that.
Yeah, if he was playing the original Wolfenstein, you get killed off on some of the newer processors before you get a chance to move. So you had to take the turbo off, slow down the computer so you can actually play the game.
Yeah, that's some years, man. Jeez.
Yeah.
I didn't start messing around with computers until like 2009 when the socket 939 and socket AM2.
Oh, okay. That's way later, man. You'll go all the way back to the 286, man. And if 386, you were doing something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, they're old.
Yeah, 386 was like, man, what are you gonna do with all that speed?
Now it's like, oh, this is way too slow.
For Christmas, I bought Dad 2 megs of memory for his 386. Everybody there was like, "What are you gonna do with all that RAM?"
A megabyte? Yeah, a megabyte. Wow. Because everybody else was running 256 meg, K.
Case, yeah. Yeah, Dad had a board that could hold 4 megs. I was like, man,
yeah,
we're going to like max this out one day. Here's 2. we halfway there.
And hard drives were like 4 gigabytes back in the day or something like that.
No, hell no.
No, good Lord. I had first computer, I had 2 850 megabytes of RAM, hard drives. Yeah. I was running every piece of software that I could find.
Yeah, I remember my first one was a 30 megabyte hard drive.
Full height?
Yeah, full height.
Wow. Full height. Are you talking about like the non-GUI operating system?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You were talking about DOS.
Oh, okay.
DOS. Because I tried Windows 1.0 on it and ran like a slug, man. Like, who would ever use this?
Yep. I just need to run WordPerfect 5.1. I don't need all this GUI.
I remember the first gigabyte hard drive I got, man. It was I think what did a buddy got it for me. It was like $800 for a gigabyte hard drive, and that was it early 90s, the 94, I want to say. It's like, wow. I remember I was going to get RAM. I was actually going to go build a new computer because I just got this hard drive. And I said, he said, "What kind of hard drive you got? You gonna put in this thing?" I said, "I got a gigabyte hard drive." He said, "You want to sell it?" Hold on, I just got the damn thing.
Yeah.
Everybody else was running 500 megabytes was big back then. So you get a gigabyte, man. It's like, like they look at you funny.
Mhm. Yeah. Remember this, Christian, this Voodoo 6000?
I didn't have the 6,000. I remember that now. That one, far left 3DFX, the first GPU,
Mm-hmm.
I had one of those. And if you scroll on down,
I think I had that one.
that diamond, I had that. And where's the one that's got the 3 processor chips on it?
3?
Yep, there's one that's like right. If you come on down a little bit, that one that's got those 2
Voodoo
3DFX chips.
AGP. I remember those.
I don't see what you're talking about, Christian.
Scroll up a little bit, right there. Right, come on down a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Come to the left, underneath there, down one more. That was like the first Voodoo FX, the Voodoo FX 1. Now 2 actually had 3 chips on it.
Mhm.
I bought one of those, and I forgot how much I had to spend for the fan.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember my dad getting mad. It's like, you actually bought a fan for a damn video card? I was like, it gets hot.
Yeah, there was all types of tactics that you can use, man. You would take the old PCI bracket and then bend it and then hook it to a 80 millimeter.
To a case fan, yep.
Yeah.
I did that too.
Back down and screw it right back down because it was
or run a bracket exhaust fan right next to it.
Yep. Matrox. Remember Matrox, Christian?
That I had like a bunch of those. They were like one of the best Photoshop cards around. If you're just doing like 2D picture editing, yeah, Matrox was the best. I had that. I had the Rainbow Runner because I was editing videos back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Man.
Hey, excuse me, fellas. I'm gonna have to hop off, man. I appreciate y'all letting me on. Thanks, Mike. Good to talk to you, BGS and Maddox and Zone.
Yes,
y'all have a good one.
Later.
All right.
Yeah, man. I had everything, man. You know, I spent so much money back then, man. Had I invested that money to the stock market, I would have been.
Yeah, but would you be in the position that you're in now, that you didn't spend all that money investing in technology and learning it?
Oh man, we had to go the hard way, man. We had to learn the hard way. You know, you have to learn by failure, trial by error, right? So, yeah, man. You know, some of these other guys, man, they got to go to MIT and those places. We didn't get a chance to do all that type of stuff. So, we have to get the hand-me-down stuff, man. The stuff that they threw in the dumpster. Yeah, man. So it was crazy. Back then, computers only had one color. It was beige. It was ugly. So that you couldn't get. Unless you had somebody customize it, you know, and paint it black or something like that. There was no other color.
It was beige or was smoker's beige.
Yeah.
They had nicotine dripping on the sides.
And they start making green.
Yeah. Yeah, man. What else was kinky back then that we tend to like back then? All those big Mitsubishi Diamondtrons.
Those things weigh so heavy.
Oh yeah. I just got rid of mine. Massive. But the screen quality was impeccable. You couldn't get anything better than that.
What was the dot pitch on it?
I forget, like .23 or dot something like that.
I had some used NECs I was selling way back in the day. That was like 22s. And people would rather have a 15-inch one of those as opposed to the 19 inches that I was selling.
Mm-hmm.
They said the picture's better. I'm like, you could see more on a 19 if you could afford it.
There used to be a site, Christian, called Monitors. You used to be able to buy cheap monitors off of there. They used to have like Nokia and Nokia monitors and NECs and God damn, what's the name of that website, man? Everybody used to go there. Used to get dirt cheap monitors off of there, man. It's gonna kill me, man. monitors for all or something like that. I forget the
Right,
name.
right. Or all monitors or some shit like that.
No, it was like monitors for everyone or something like that. PCs for everybody or something like that. I forget the name of it, but the point of the matter here is that they were like monitor specialists. They was like they had gurus, they had these apparatuses that they used to put on the center of the monitor to adjust the color on there, so you got the color just warm enough or hot enough for gaming or for video production or just to calibrate the color palette on it. It was crazy back then. They used to do some really crazy stuff with it. But yeah, that's it in a nutshell, man. I think we've reached our goal with this. Let me answer some of the questions in the chat. I know I've neglected it. Packard Bell, yeah, I had that. That was one of my first computers. Was a Packard Bell. Hand me down. What are these guys talking about in the chat?
How heavy those monitors were back in the day.
You needed two people to bring them up the stairs, so.
Or a dolly or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Curlin asked if he's cover slot A, Athlon. You know, that's interesting. Let's look that up real quick.
They're the ones that had like the like slot 1 but upside down.
I think they were configured the same way. Yeah, I think they were configured the same way. Thing is, people were worried that if you took the processor off of not the processor, the heat sink off of it, that it would die on you. I'm like, no shit. If you take the radiator off a car, it's not going to work either. What the hell? Yeah, I remember these, man. Definitely remember them. Don't miss them, but definitely remember them. So interesting. All right, let me go through the chat again. Yep, dip switches. I remember those. Pain in the balls. Dip switches were a pain in the balls.
What was that processor that dumbasses were like drawing off a pencil to connect the cache or something like that?
Oh,
I think it was AMD.
yeah, I think. Yeah, it was AMD. You can convert it into a multi-processor. Or no, you can overclock it or something like that. Because the graphite inside the pencil would allow connectivity between the resistors. What else is going on? Oh, SCSI drives. Yeah, jumpers on SCSI drives. You have to get that right, man, or if that drive went and boot up, you were screwed.
Yeah, 17
I used to
master slave.
I used to be able to do that all day, and then they came up to ultra wide, and I was like,
Mm-hmm.
I got to learn another 8 bits. Damn.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, those things were a pain, man. But you made a lot of money if you were a storage engineer or a server engineer. You made a lot of money off of that because only you know how to configure it, and that was it. Yeah, because Computer Shopper was the was basically the Google
Yep.
back then. You know, if you wanted to know prices on latest parts and things of that nature, that you didn't have a big search engine like you do today. So that where's your search engine? You had to go through that. Yeah, Aquatech, you're right about slockets. You used to take a Celeron processor, put it inside this
Oh yeah, that little that little daughter bar, so you can put it in the slot.
yeah. So that it worked. It was compatible with the BX boards and not
Yep.
the DX boards. I think that's what it was. If I remember correctly, if that's how it worked. Yep, Celeron 300A. Yep, 266 is too. Used to overclock a 266 to like 360 megahertz or something like that back then. Yeah. Those were always good deals. So the pencil mod was on the socket A. Yeah, it was. It was on the Duron and the Athlon, if I remember correctly. The Duron, you were able to get like I forget the benefit. It was like more cash out of it or something, because I think the Duron had like 128 cash, and I think the Athlon had 256 or something to that effect.
We didn't call them memes back in the day, but yeah, I remember seeing the pictures on the internet of like drawing more cash.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, this nostalgia stuff is kind of crazy, man. We can go back for we should do another live stream on that, just on some of the old stuff back then. You know, iOmega zip drives and Jazz drives back then. That was your external storage back then.
Yep, zip drives, I-35 Easies, and LS-120s.
Mm-hmm. Yep, LS-120s. Yep, clip drives they used to have back then. He says I got David Smith says I got my 300A Celeron up to 451 megahertz, rock solid, stable. It lasted till I put it down. Yeah, that was the golden. Well, I think the max clock was 500, but you had to use water or something like that. Some real crazy way.
Oh, you just had to use a Peltier, because that's why I had my stuff up to.
Yeah.
But Peltiers cost some money.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, some people had CDRs versus CDRWs. You know, you can only write once on there. They're never rewritable. Yeah. There was no such thing as an iPod back then. That was unheard of. You had a Diamond Rio, this big, gargantuous
boombox.
It was an MP3 player, but it was gargantuous, man. It was massive. You couldn't put it in your pocket, man. You need like a man bag or something for it to put that.
Yeah, just needed a strong shoulder.
This was long before Apple even came up with the iPod, man. A lot of people give Apple credit, but you know, other companies came out back then.
Yeah, Creative Labs had one. Dang.
Mm-hmm.
Sony came out with a Walkman.
No, they had a Discman, but they didn't have a
MP3 player.
They didn't have anything like that. They had the DAT. They had an MD, a mini disc. It was a DAT. So it was high quality audio, but it did not. It was not mass storage. Yeah, David Smith says I was cheap. I used a stock cooler. Yeah, you can use a stock cooler as long as you use like some aftermarket thermal paste, because the stuff that they bundled with it was like bubble gum.
Yeah.
It was like pink and it was bubble gum. It wasn't useful for anything in terms of modifications. But yeah, I think we covered everything that we needed to cover, man. Please hit the like button if you've not already done so. Share the video if possible. Also hit that notification bell so you do have the updates from the Black Brain Trust. Shout out to BGS for coming on to the panel, and Curlin M, first time on the panel, long time listener.
Do we need to order this computer for Ogre?
Nah.
You're gonna need a lot more super chats and cash for that. So that's something that we do not have the resources for at the moment. But we'll work on a GoFundMe for Kendra D.
Okay, all right.
All right, shalom, everyone.